10:30 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Well, hopefully they're not watching this show off the rails on the 1787 radio network. I'm Alex, co-host, of course. Next to me is the Duchess of Doing Stuff. She is Tribbley's and Hernando County's and Orange County's favorite, most loved libertarian. Danielle Alexandre, good morning.
It's not even afternoon. It's night. It's
well,
late.
Good evening to you then.
Okay.
Does anyone know what time it is?
I don't. I said it was 10:30, so at least I knew I could have been 10:30 a.m. though. But it's not though.
I'm doing well. It is not though. It's
doing
not
well?
morning, but I am doing well.
That's good. Glad to hear it. Shut up, stop whining, and get a life. Beautiful shirt this week.
I actually think you should name
with
Greg every week whatever a shirt says.
Why not? We'll do it to start Friday. Okay. He knows that. It may change his selection of shirts. To be honest with you, it could. It could not, though. You never know. I mean, Greg could just say screw it and go with it. But
I think he'll say that.
I love the fact that he has that many different shirts too, though. I myself have mmany shirts, but I only like to wear one or two of them.
Yeah,
I'm saving them all. The rest of them for. I actually do have like a whole ton of shirts that I am saving. I don't know why either.
It's literally a huge box full. Like, he's not joking. It's not like he's like, oh, I have those 6 shirts over there that I'm just holding on to.
50 shirts.
Yeah, it's at least 50 shirts. This thing, it is, like, I can't pick it up at all. Like, because we have some stuff that we're not unpacking because it's just sitting there to be saved for, I don't know when. But sometimes you have to move it to get to a box of, like, whatever that you need in the garage. And I can't move it.
It's a lot of shirts.
You never wear them?
No, not anymore, no.
No, not at all.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Call it an investment in your kid's future. And let me explain what I mean by that. These are all old shirts that represent... These aren't just like everyday shirts. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. A lot of them, like I have a whole bunch of shirts from every place that I've been. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, you get a shirt for where you're at in one place, you get a shirt for where you're at in the other place, you get a shirt for where you're at in the other place.
People do that even on vacation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you don't get 2nd Marine Division shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get Haitian vacation shirts. That's a picture of Haiti with a bunch of ships and stuff going. Like
I'm just saying it's a social norm when you go to some place you don't generally live in to get a t-shirt.
I got you. Yeah, but you ain't saving. I went to Disneyland shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't Disneyland shirts. Not everybody can go and get one of these shirts. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand.
But they're also different, though. They're very unique shirts. And all of them served... I even saved one of the Ron Paul shirts. I saved one of my own shirts.
There you go.
I mean, again, later on, when my kid's like 16, 17 years old, and if he's a T-shirt kid, look at all the T-shirts he's going to be able to come in with that none of the other kids will ever have. But they'll all be pretty cool-looking shirts, though. And they'll all have stories with them. Like, where'd you get that shirt? Oh, my dad ran for office in the Senate. This was the campaign shirt.
Yeah.
But it was back a long time ago before he got in the Senate.
Yeah.
Or before he got shot, you know what I'm saying? One of the two.
Before he got arrested.
Yeah, before he started a radio show and lost his mind and was there to witness the first libertarian in Congress ever. But at any rate, I have all these shirts, so I want to give them to my kid later on. Now, I don't know if they're going to make it or not. Some of them will, though. So, like, some of them are some thick-ass shirts. I mean, they work.
I thought you meant the kid.
Oh. Kid's going to make it. Kid will make it.
I was like, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's days where he tries all of our patience, but I think he's going to make it.
I'm hoping. Here's the hope, But I have all those shirts, though. I like them, though. But I don't wear them. I don't want to mess them up.
Well, what are they for?
To give to my kid later on. Or
so
you could make something with them, though.
Wear them or not.
You also could make something. Look, with those
You
shirts.
can make something with it. Make a quilt.
No, you can put them in a picture frame, though.
No,
like
all
just
of
cut
them.
the design out and put it in the picture
frame.
frame.
Would be.
You could do that to a couple of them, maybe, or you could make other things with them, though. Some people make like blankets
Quilts?
with them.
That's what a quilt is.
Yeah, you give a whole bunch of give it to some old lady that knows how to do that stuff. She just gets it done 20 minutes.
I think what he's saying is when I'm an old lady, I'm going to be making a quilt with all of his shirts.
No, we'll have somebody else.
That's what I'm hearing.
No, we'll have somebody else.
Yeah, because I'm the only one.
What were we
going
to talk about anyway? We were not going to talk about this, by the way.
I don't know.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Where do you want to go first? Pick something. Just pick something. Where do you want to go first?
I'm not sure. Okay, this is actually a funny story. There was a teenager who sued her parents
Oh, yeah.
for refusing to pay for her college. Now, she's in private school as well. She was an unruly teenager. She was, caught drinking, not going to school, just, normal teenager stuff. But it was a little excessive, and she was 18 years old, so they kicked her out. She went and sued them for the tuition to her private school and for tuition to college because they kicked her out.
My favorite part about this, though, is the way that it's being portrayed in the media, because you're getting two different versions of the story. One side saying, oh, she's an honor student who was kicked out by her parents. Mm-hmm. And the other side saying, well, she was a rebel who ran away from home. And
now, the parents say she's both.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It could be true. I hung out with the rebels. I was one of the rebels. And there were quite a few people who were still on honor roll.
Right.
But they were not listening to their parents. They were doing all the things they're not supposed to do, still on honor roll.
The parents actually say that she was an honor roll student. She was a cheerleader. Now, I guess she was the captain of the squad, but because of all her antics, they, knocked her down to just regular cheerleader. I don't know how that works. I really don't.
She's at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah, I mean, she moved down. But that they said, that the rules were pretty lenient, just do what you're supposed to do and everything would be cool. And I guess she was still keeping up with the grades and things like that, but she wasn't coming home. Like, she was staying out very late and, coming home drunk and just, there was a lot of kind of issues going on. So she was an unruly teenager, but in school she was doing well. And that's what the parents say. And they just had enough. And I think it was like she's saying they kicked her out, and they're kind of saying, well, what we said was it's going to be our rules or you shouldn't live here, and you left. So that's the story that the parents have told, and I mean, I think it's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So she did sue them. Now, I saw it this morning, and I kind of laughed about it, and but there was a ruling already.
Yes, there was a ruling. Was it yesterday or today?
Yeah, it was actually earlier today in the afternoon. The judge did rule that her parents were not on the hook for any of her tuition or anything. They basically said she's 18. If she wants to abide by their rules, then and they would like to pay for that stuff, then they can. And if they don't, well, tough.
I love the quote from the judge where he said, what's next? Are we going to allow 12-year-olds to sue their parents for an Xbox and 13-year-olds to sue for an iPhone? And it's I like the ruling.
I do.
You can't sue your parents for college money. You can't sue your parents for an allowance.
I mean, I guess it would be nice if you could. I guess if you were a kid. But...
You know what my parents said? Get a job.
Right.
I got my first job at 9 years old, delivering papers. I had a paper route.
You know whose fault this is, by the way?
The parents.
Barack Obama.
I see a lot of people are blaming the parents in the comments, saying like, well, they raised this brat of a kid, but I gotta say they stood up to him, was like, then take us to court.
You know, no. Here's the thing: it's all about you can be on your parents' plan until you're 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He inadvertently raised the age of responsibility now to 26.
Yes.
So if you're in your early 20s, you're almost feeling like, well, mom and dad got to do this. Don't get me wrong. Look, it happens. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. And if you're going to school and doing the right thing, but if you're going to live underneath their roof, you got to abide by their rules.
Can it be 21 once they can legally start killing their own liver? The parents don't have to pay for their health insurance anymore. They're on their own.
Look, I don't think you restrict the parents from being able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you tell parents that you're not allowed to do it. If you want to do it, you can. But like, you're not obligated to do this though. Don't say, well, you can. No. You're 18 at that point. Like, you know what happened when I turned 18? I went to the Marine Corps. That's where I went. I was gone for years, and I'd come home. I didn't have a house, so I'd come home. But other than that, I was just in the Marine Corps for 8 years. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, like, I don't think there should be a rule on who you can pay for health insurance for. I mean, like, if I want to pay for my kids' health insurance for the rest of their life, I should be able to do it. If you want to pay for your roommate's health insurance or whatever, it shouldn't matter. You're paying. The product is there. Whoever pays pays. I don't even understand why you have to make a rule that says that parents can have someone on their plan until they're 26. If everybody's an adult and they all agree that they want to be on one plan, what the hell is the big deal?
And for this chick, she heard the 26 thing. She's like, oh, I'm going to sue him now. She's feeling entitled. I'm going to sue. Like, what 18-year-old is stupid enough to try to sue for this?
This one.
And this lawyer, look, nobody should ever have her again, because if you're willing to take this case, I mean, really, you know, and was talking about it like like she deserves this.
She didn't.
That's why lawyers are scum of the earth, right there.
Now, not only was she suing the parents for the tuition to the private school, tuition to college, but also for her attorney's fees, at which, when I read it, were up to about $12,000.
What kind of nerve as an 18-year-old do you have to trump up $1,200 in attorney's fees?
$12,000
to sue us. If we win, we still got to. If we lose, we still got to pay this. Well, she's 18 now. She's on her own.
Yeah, that'd be.
I mean, that's the thing. She's 18 years old.
Apparently, the attorney is confident enough that he's going to win,
Or she's going to win.
Or
It's a woman.
Yeah. Still.
Now, she was still a senior in high school.
Right.
So, I mean, there was still that, even though she is 18, she still is in high school. But even that shouldn't matter. You can't sue your parents when they don't give you the things you want.
And you can do whatever you want, but if you want to live in their house, you got to abide by their rules.
And quite frankly, you can sue anybody for whatever you want to sue them for.
You just may not win.
Yeah, you are probably going to lose if you sue somebody for something stupid. You know, and this is something stupid. I can't believe it, but it's got everybody's attention.
It does.
It's got everybody's attention while, Obama is looking like a weakling in front of the world. And
Well, we shouldn't be in that business to begin with, and we shouldn't even be in there. We shouldn't be there.
We shouldn't be there, but Obama's threat was.
Oh, I know, what an idiot. You know what? Here's the thing. This guy is a foreign policy disaster.
It would have been more intimidating to threaten to enroll Vladimir Putin in Obamacare.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
He was not scary at all. I am not going to be surprised if Vladimir Putin bitch slaps him at their next meeting just on principle, because that was so weak. You don't threaten an ex-KGB agent like that. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know who's right and who's wrong in this one. And more likely Russia's probably wrong in some way, shape, manner, or form. But, it's not our business, man. That'd be like if we were in an argument with Mexico and Russia stepped in. Like, you really want us to step in? You really want them stepping in right here? What are you thinking that is? They consider that area part of their turf, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, whether people want to admit it or not, the way it seems to me, though, is that there's a portion of that population that actually feels the same way.
Yeah.
It almost seems like in certain areas it is the majority of the population that feels that way. I don't know the numbers for sure, but I'm saying the areas that they seem to be in, for some of the pictures you see, those guys were not treated badly. They were actually being hugged, and it could all be staged. It could all be fake propaganda. It didn't look like it to me, though. It looked real.
Well, that's the reality. It is mixed. There are people who would like to reunite with Russia, and there are people who want to stay their own state, and they have to work that out. And if they're going to work it out through blood, that sucks. I feel bad for the people that are involved, and especially the innocent people that are just like, "Hey, I'm just trying to run my shop and raise my family," and
no, I don't know what you guys do.
People are getting bombed on their way to my store, and my daughter can't get to school, and school got bombed. Now my daughter's dead. Oh my God! I mean, that's what I feel bad about. But we can't fix that, because we can't storm in there and stop those people from feeling the way that they do. Because whether we're there or not, they still either want to join with Russia or want to stay their own free state, and we can't make that decision for those people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the neocons have been coming out on this one in force, and they have driven the narrative, and it's been horrible on the narrative that's even been driven here, when the real point to be made is that we need to not be involved in anything that's going on over there right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like they want to just bring it all back up. And it's really bad. That's the thing that sucks about Obama, is that he actually does all the stuff that they want him to do anyway in reality. Like, all the stuff they could get away with, they would. Like, the Libya stuff, you couldn't gone into Syria no matter how much you wanted to, because the American people were not with you. It wasn't that Obama wasn't with you on that one. It's that the American people weren't. Because Obama would have done it. He's much of a neocon as Bush is, if not more. He's a more uppity neocon even at that. Because he'll drone bomb you instead of bringing troops in.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he'll really be a dick. You know? So he can go everywhere with drones because they don't take any troops for drones. I mean, how many countries we got drones in right now?
I'll send the robots in, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Hey.
I got robots now.
I
We can
like
keep-
to know that that's the line where someone becomes a dick when they're killing you with robots instead of humans.
You're a dick either way, but I'm saying, though, at least the other one's more, you know.
Yes.
This is a total dick move because he's not declaring war or anything like that. He's just sending.
Look, in order to move
robots out.
troops over there, at least the American public has to be somewhat involved. Drones require no authorization from American troops or from the American people. They find out later that it even happened.
And if it gets shot down, nobody died, so there's no
There's
letter
no
to
loss of
send.
human life, none of that stuff. So it makes it easy, by the way.
Yeah.
For them, waging war now has been made so much easier with drone bombs.
I'm just saying it was just funny the way it was like, well, he's a dick because he's using drones. Like, at the end of the day, I think anyone who's killing people for the sake of killing people is a dick.
Yeah.
Regardless of the way they carry that out, by
Whether
the
he
way.
sends a pilot or a robot, you're a dick.
You're a dick.
I understand that the dick factor is about the same, but there's a nuance there that I was trying to recognize.
Yes.
My apologies for just trying to call him a dick and the other one not a dick. I mean, there's varying degrees of.
He's a
being
robo dick.
He's a robo dick. Well, that's why I say he was more of an uppity dick, though. You know what I'm saying? Like an elitist dick. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So.
I'm not. That's what it is. I'm not even gonna waste human lives on you, savages.
But at the
I'm
same
gonna send
time,
robots.
But at the same time, he acts like a big puss when he's on the world stage too, though. So he looks weak, even though he's definitely strong. And the United States can just do whatever they want anyway, and does pretty much until we get thrown out of countries, which is happening pretty quickly. But it ain't because of Obama. He's trying to do what you dumbasses wanted to do anyway.
I love Russia's response to him. You know, he made the threat to Putin, and Parliament votes on it and says, doesn't matter what he says. We're saying you send the troops in, and as a matter of fact, pull Moscow's ambassador out of the U.S. because we'll go all the way with this. And Putin's like, okay.
Yeah,
The Russians are not scared of us. They are not worried about whether or not we get involved here. Clearly.
Well, even I guarantee you what they're thinking is they're like, these guys can't be stupid enough to want to get in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And maybe they are.
Well, we've got some really stupid people. I think they underestimate the lack of intelligence in Washington D.C. By the way,
I gotta tell you this.
These guys are stepping all over their dicks left and right. Who knows what they're going to do next?
The party that gets us in a serious conflict with Russia will not be in office any longer after that. Because that'll be the one that breaks it all.
yeah, and
We ain't even close to being. The problem is I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
We ain't even close to being good enough domestically right now that we can even withstand some of the stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
Economically speaking, these guys are big.
I got to pull these numbers.
It's not their military that you should be worried about with them or China. You know, we're all intertwined right now in a really bad way, and I don't like it. I think we should not do that.
Right.
But you got to look at. You want to talk about facing reality? Let's face a little reality right now. A couple less people keep buying the dollar. It's going to go bad real quick because it's petro that's keeping this thing going.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think that when you look at a confrontation with someone like Russia, now you are going to see a world war very quickly.
China and Russia automatically are going to pal up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go after China and Russia right now? Like, really?
Which means North Korea's in.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah.
And Syria, Iran, they're all going to buddy up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are
we ready for World War III right now, folks?
I mean, who do you think the Palestinians are going to line up with? Israel and the United States?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We still have the biggest military in the world, and we could fight them all.
Well,
and if any of them get close to America, we'll just nuke the planet.
Well,
ultimately, we have a trump card, but
it depends on.
So does Russia, though.
It depends on how you define biggest military, because when it comes down to the numbers, China has the biggest military. And biggest by almost twice what we have, and their reserves are just under what we have, and they will call in more. It is a communist country. You will do what you are told. If we need more people to fight, we will fight, and they will win a war of attrition.
Well, no. If it was like that, straight land-based, then you're absolutely right. But unfortunately for China, and fortunately for America, is that there's a whole lot of water between us and them.
A whole lot of water.
And you can't land shit on... In reality, if we had to defend this continent, let's say, you ain't getting anything over. I mean, nothing big. I mean, you'll get little spy rings over and subs and stuff like that, but we'll catch those things, though. Like, at the same time, like, we're not to be trifled with either, because we ultimately have the Achilles heel. We'll blow the whole damn thing up. And don't think we won't do it, because, we're stupid enough to do something like that.
The only one stupid enough to have ever done it.
Yeah. I mean, we're the only guys using this shit.
Yeah. And that's the reason they, even with the bigger military by numbers, they are not going to do anything.
Well, and we have the biggest military and the one thing that actually matters in the world, and that's sea power.
Sea power, Air Force. We have the superior technology by far.
And we got a lot of it.
And that's where we have the real
We
advantage.
sell our shit to them.
Yeah. We sell our old shit to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Our old shit is better than their new shit.
Yeah. At least on a mass scale.
It's like hand-me-downs when you have a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't like that we do that, but, because now we armed them, Well, God, if we just stopped doing that for a while, it'd be fun.
That's like one of the only places where we actually turn a profit is in our weapons sales. We're the biggest weapons dealer in the history of mankind.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being a gun shop, man, but we're just too much of a sneaky gun shop. We arm both sides and, just all kinds.
See, that's the problem. We make so many more weapons and bullets and bombs and everything than we have people.
Yeah. Now we're giving them to
To
our
use
local-
them.
We could arm the entire planet, and we have.
And still have extra, overstock.
Well, and the funny thing is this, though. In this country right now, there is 300 million guns. And that's what the civilians own, not what the military has. That ain't counting military guns. The civilians own 300 million guns. I mean, I know they're trying to take them away and stuff, but they're never going to be able to do that.
Well, you heard what happened in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, everybody's just saying no.
They
we're not
back
doing it.
down.
Well, everybody's saying no, and then somebody raised the question. Some young whippersnapper raised the question. Well, who's going to go collect these guns? Well, the police officers. Well, the police officers are on the list. Like 60-something% of the police officers were on the list of people who would have to
Yeah.
have somebody show up at their door and get their guns
Out
confiscated.
of every
because they
10
didn't
cops,
register.
6 of them are on the list.
Right.
Yeah. So who's going to go get the guns?
And you ain't going to be able to make a police officer exemption on this one. That'll never fly. And the cops wouldn't want it to fly either, by the way, though. That 60% would be like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's why that 60% isn't registered and is doing this, and it's not going to fly.
No. It's nice to
They've
see,
already
actually.
backed it down anyways.
I think that's what we do. I swear to God, I think that's what we all should do. Look, man, just buy what you want.
Quite frankly, as much gun legislation as we have, it is very difficult to get gun legislation passed in this country because there is a lot of resistance to it. There are a lot of people who disagree with it. I mean,
There's a lot of gun restriction in the country now, though. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. We have a lot, but every gun restriction that we have has been fought. It's been a hard-fought battle for the people who want it.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, there's a lot of
And-
people in this country
and
that would like to.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who would love to just slap on a whole lot more and a whole lot heavier restrictions. And if it were that easy, then it
this
would be
is
done.
this is an argument, not an argument, but this is a discussion that's had from time to time that I always hear talked about when it comes to the Second Amendment, by the way. And it brings up a point in this discussion to where if you go with originalist intent here, that those people that are the gun grabbers could actually get what they want. Let me explain what I mean by that. And they kind of do now anyway, just because of the way it's set up. But they could have it even more. If the Second Amendment was understood the way that I guess I'm now starting to understand it, is that all that was a restriction on the federal government to pass any federal firearms legislation. But it was not a restriction on the states in order to pass their state regulations that you could consider a violation of the Second Amendment. But the Second Amendment doesn't apply to the states as it applies to the federal government, I guess. That's the argument back and forth, at least as I understand it.
Well,
Right.
and most states, and not all of them, but most states do have a similar provision in their state constitution that would prevent much of the regulations. And that's what you fight even on a state level, because the state of Florida does have a very strong right to bear arms in the state constitution, but there is some exceptions, and that's background checks and things like that. There's ways to restrict gun use, but there's very few ways. And most of them are registries and things like that. So, and almost every state has something in their state constitution that does provide for the people's right to bear arms. And that's where you, even on the state level, are still only going to be able to go so far.
True, but it does give when it comes to those things, it does give the states the right to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? To do stuff that's different than other states. And if you wanted to do like an assault weapons ban and it passed and it made it through and you put it on the state constitution, are they allowed to do that? And that's an argument. Some people will say no. Some people will say yes.
Well, the states are allowed to do it. It's been proven, and it's been that way from the beginning. I mean,
that's why a place like Chicago has has very, very strict gun regulations, and a state like Florida doesn't have actually that many at all.
It's why we have Rhode Island. It's because in Massachusetts they were breaking the First Amendment, and there was a lot of religious persecution, and people broke off and went and created their own state to get away from them. So
really, you think they would have gotten a little bigger than Rhode Island, though? I mean, like,
well, I
guess it wasn't that many people.
Well, at that time, you got to think about that time in the country, though. It ain't like you could go down 75.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying,
or you had a car for that matter.
Yeah.
If you've seen Rhode Island, then like one sneeze and you've missed Rhode Island.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you say, they're not renting U-Hauls or anything to go do this.
Right.
Like a colonial U-Haul.
I'm just saying
they're loading up mules.
They should have fought for a little more land, because Rhode Island is like, really, guys, come on, like that's a state. There's like 6 people there.
Yeah, but I mean that's how New York can have such restrictive gun laws, and Illinois, because you can do that on a local level.
Right.
The more local you get, the more restrictive they can be. They're allowed to do that, and.
But I
don't know how the hell we got here, though.
And one of the arguments for the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution only being a restriction on the federal government is the fact that every state put that into their own constitution. If the federal U.S. Constitution was supreme, then you wouldn't need to restate it in your state constitution, because it was like it's already there. The reason why the states did it is because it was always known, back when the U.S. Constitution was actually made, it was always known that was only a restriction on the federal government. And that's why the states had to. Most of the Bill of Rights that we see that in the U.S. Constitution has been restated in most state constitutions, because they knew it wasn't a restriction on the state.
Mm-hmm. Most state constitutions mimic the U.S. Constitution
in many ways.
In the beginning of the Constitution,
yeah.
And then the changes, and over the years, things have come about.
I really still don't even remember how we got here from there. But
well, I can tell you while we're on guns.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about this too.
Yeah. Now.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's not a good segue if you have to point it out.
Oh, really? Oh, my
like
bad.
you ruined the segue
by doing that.
Oh, my bad. But I wanted to acknowledge how good the segue you did, though.
Like in a break.
Sorry it cost you the segue.
In a break, like that's when you give the little pat on the back, not while we're in the middle of it.
That's my bad.
Okay. While we're talking about guns, and now Facebook is starting to crack down on gun vendors. And what they're saying is they're going to start censoring posts about gun sales.
You know what? Here's the thing. Facebook has every right to do it.
They do.
I don't agree with it. I think it's a bad idea. I actually also tell you I think it's a good idea. And here's why. Screw Facebook. You know what? Start doing that kind of stuff and find out what happens. You will lose your subscribers because somebody will make just a pro-gun Facebook, and people will go over there, and it'll get big enough where, and if the technology's never been nothing's worked like Facebook's worked. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing has really worked like Facebook has worked. Mm-hmm. But it ain't saying that you can't. You're not irreplaceable.
Oh yeah. Every empire will fall. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah. And Facebook will do. And if this is what they want to do it, then go ahead. Because you start censoring my stuff, I'm just going to close out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, so far I haven't, seen.
I'll go back to MySpace, yo.
I can't even get into my MySpace account. Like, I see the account there, and I see all all my pictures and everything, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if people are trying to contact me. I've been locked out for years.
I'll start using Google Plus.
I have thought about Google Plus. But this is, and I do agree that Facebook has the right to do it, but this is where it kind of gets a little weird, is because they're saying that, buying weapons without, they're saying that these sales are illegal, and that they're going to censor the post of these illegal gun sales, and they list what it is, and most of it is because you're buying it without a background check. But now here in the state of Florida, private sale, like private person to private person, there is no background check required. There's no 3-day wait. Private sales are immune from those kind of regulations. So someone in Florida who was posting it, who would be absolutely legal to sell their weapon without any regulations or restrictions to someone else, now will have theirs censored as illegal content, when in our state it's not illegal.
Yep. You said you wanted to comment, Alex?
Here's the thing. Mess around, Facebook. Mess around. Do it. Find out what happens. You're going to start doing this stuff, and you're going to lose people. You're just going to start losing people. And there will be a site that will be made that will be as good as yours, if not better than yours. It's hard, though, because Facebook is very good. They've done a very good job.
There are people that are looking for reasons to leave Facebook as well, because of a lot of other things about Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is only one of many.
So,
but this will be a big one.
This very well could be the one that divides, and a lot of people leave.
And now last week they put out another kind of new rule that they're going to be censoring a lot of profiles that use a lot of profanity. There's basically now a no cursing rule in your posts and comments and things, and that if you are found breaking this rule a lot, then you're going to be literally banned from Facebook, because they're having a hard time finding family-friendly advertisers to advertise on Facebook, because it's a place where people aren't always speaking in family-friendly terms.
Their own terms of service say you must be 13 years old to get an account. If you have to be 13 years old to get an account, that means that you meet all the requirements by everyone else's standards to be able to hear that language. Because no one seems to have a problem with the fact that a PG-13 movie is filled with fuck and shit and damn and all the curse words that you can use. And 13-year-olds parents should have a 13-year-old prepared by that point to deal with profanity.
And if you don't want your child to be exposed to profanity, then don't allow them to be on Facebook.
Keep them off the internet, because that's pretty much what the internet is.
Yeah.
Again, though, Facebook has the right to do it.
They do.
And I don't. And out of the two rules that we just talked about, the two rule changes, while I don't like that rule, if that's the platform that they want it to be on, at least that's the way it is. Whatever. People are going to find a way to still curse online. They're just going to put the letter F there now.
Well, that's what.
And everybody's going to, even the little kids that you're trying to shield from, know that F means fuck and the S means shit, and FU means fuck you, and I mean everything that they're trying to say, they'll still be able to just repeat in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just because you don't know how to spell it. I mean, you know how to spell it. You're a 13-year-old kid. Of course, you made it your mission in life to learn how to spell that word. You won't probably say it in two languages. You can probably say it
in a couple languages.
Yeah. But at any rate, it's just you're jumping the shark in sitcom terms, I guess. You're jumping the shark here.
But Zuckerberg is big buddies with Obama, and that's that's what these kind of people think. They think that they think that, hey, I got to do everything I can to change your behavior for the better. And the problem with that is I have a default position against anybody who's doing anything for my own good. Fuck you.
Yeah. I'll worry about my own good, thank you.
Exactly.
No, and that's not here's the thing too, though. Let me just say it like this. That's not to say that as a government that, because again, I'm not an anarchist, so I do believe in a government, but I think that the government is there to be helpful and informative as well, and to make sure that we have the one thing that was required was a well-educated public. So if you want to talk about the dangers of eating too much or of smoking cigarettes or of anything like that, and you want to, or talk to people about wearing seatbelts or whatever, I don't think that there's a problem with that, but you just can't make a law. Like, you can't make a rule about that, man. To just talk about it, but no rules.
Yeah, you should wear a seatbelt. It's a really good idea. That's why I wear a seatbelt, not because there's a law, because it's a really good idea.
I happen to like being inside the car and not through the windshield.
Exactly.
So it's in my own best interest to actually wear the seatbelt, because again, sitting inside the car in a crash is much better than going through the window in case of an accident.
Yes.
I would 100% agree with you, by the way. It is and again, it's but here's the thing. There's a seatbelt law, but no helmet law, by the way.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want there to be a helmet law.
No.
But are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I'm a lot safer in the car without the seatbelt. Don't get me wrong, I'm not safe in the car without, but I'm not on a bike.
Yeah.
Even with the helmet, you're probably going to get messed up pretty bad on a bike. In a car, I got some stuff around me that might be able to be helpful here in this situation.
Again, helmet on a motorcycle, great idea. Should you have a law? No. I call both of these are both what I call stupidity laws.
Right.
If you are stupid enough to do these things, you have to pay the consequences of doing
them.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't have a problem. And I don't think you're an idiot if you get on your motorcycle without a helmet and drive it down to the 7-Eleven 6 blocks away and drive back home and everything's fine. You know, but there are risks if you do that. And you know those risks riding a motorcycle. And
I will call you an idiot, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope nothing happens to you.
I hope nothing happens to you. But you go out and you ride all the time without a helmet. Because, I mean, anybody who's riding a bike knows it's not a matter of if, but when.
But when you fall.
Lay it down.
Right.
Yeah. It's happening at some point.
He ain't just whistling Dixie, folks.
Yeah.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget. You take that nugget right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality. So, best be wearing a helmet.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's some of those, different kind of helmets that aren't even like the good ones, like just more like the whatever. I mean, look, anything will help, and some of the stuff looks cool, man.
Well, we had a helmet law here in Florida for a while, and the minimum was one of those like half helmets,
which looks like
almost like a Nazi.
It looks like a
like a
turtle.
Nazi biker, like an evil Nazi biker.
It actually looks like a turtle is violating your head. By the way.
Yeah. But that was like the minimum that you had to have, and then it got overturned, and now there's no helmet law.
Hold on, a turtle violating your head. There's no need for that.
Well, you can't tell me that that's not what it looks like.
I can never wear a helmet again now. I might not even wear hats. That sucks.
Ouch.
Well, you don't wear helmets anyways.
Well, that's true. I don't wear helmets.
We don't have anything that you would need a helmet.
I do.
Skateboard is just.
I do have a helmet.
Saturn.
I do have a helmet though.
Where?
It's in the green room.
What's the helmet for?
It's like a construction helmet.
No, you don't have a helmet. You have a hard hat.
Oh, I actually have a helmet too, though, but not like a one for a motorcycle. I have a military helmet. I got my.
So what's the difference between a helmet and a hard hat? What's the requirement for a helmet? Does it have to have the chin strap?
I have no idea. Have the chin strap. I have no idea. I know what a hard hat looks like.
I don't have a motorcycle helmet.
I would assume that a helmet actually has a lot more padding inside because a hard hat. And, I worked at power plants, so I had to wear a hard hat. I had to wear a hard hat everywhere you went. Now, I don't know about you, how often you've worn these things, but number one, anytime you move your head, the damn thing falls off.
Oh, that's if you don't have it set up right, though.
No, okay. Anywhere you're working in a power plant, and I'm sorry, I worked with hundreds of people whose all their hard hats fell off, so I'm going to assume that not every person in the building just didn't know how to wear them.
See, they need a chin strap.
No, they needed to be able to do it the right way. Okay. Oh no, I got mine set up to where
And
I could go like this with it.
Oh yeah, it's great until you get into a 600-degree power plant and you sweat and it falls off. So
there.
My bad.
All these things fall off, and honestly, if you get hit in the head even with the hard hat, guess what? It still hurts. And if you get hit in the head with something hard enough that was going to really do damage to your head, it is only going to break the hard hat and actually do damage to your head. This is the most ridiculous thing. It's like the gates in a gated neighborhood that everyone can just follow the next car in front of them and get in. It is the look of safety with the actual safety aspect of nothing. I mean, there's no safety in here. Yeah,
it's the seatbelts on an airplane. It's the false sense of security.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 12,000 feet in the air. This seatbelt does not matter if everything
this
goes
goes
wrong.
down. The seatbelt ain't safe.
This is just so you can find my wallet when this is all over you. I know this.
So I mean, it's this illusion of safety that, I mean, it just doesn't exist. But then you have, well, we have to have these hard hats, like, and you would get. And this was the funniest thing. I loved working the power plant. I really did. But the government regulations would I was screaming most of the time I was there, because I worked nuclear, so I really had regulations. We had to have. This is hysterical. We had to have 2 pairs of safety goggles with us all the time, because what would happen is we're actually right next to a coal plant, but I mean, there's dust, there's particles flying around, and so it'll get on your glasses. So you have to clean them, and they have these clean stations to clean your safety glasses all over the plant. But you had to have the other set because
To wear while you were cleaning your other ones.
Because there was a little symbol on the bottom that basically said, wear safety glasses while using this product. And so what happened is that someone looked at the little symbol and went in the face because they thought they had to wear the safety goggles while they were cleaning them. So then they made a rule that we had to have 2 pair so that we could wear 1 pair and clean 1 pair.
At a nuclear plant, folks. At the nuclear plant, by the way. That is being done at your local nuclear plant.
It was just,
Homer Simpson really does work at the power
I was like, now, and here's the funniest thing. I was on fire brigade. And so I was.
But that's funny in and of itself, by the way. Let's not gloss over that.
And at the time I was young. I think it was 20. I was 20 when I worked at the power plant. I was 20 years old, maybe 98 pounds soaking wet. I mean, I was, not only was I still this short, but I was really, really skinny, really teeny tiny. And I go for fire brigade training, and you have to put out this, they have like a low thing, like almost like a grease fire, but it's big. I mean, you're looking at, a 10 by 20 fire that you have to put out, but it's low to the ground. And they have the little, maybe a 10 pound or, 20 pound fire extinguisher. Not a big deal. They'd go pull the cord, hit it with the fire extinguisher, move on to the next thing. No big deal. So we're in this line, and it's me and my friend who is the same. She's this literally almost the exact same size as me. Together, we didn't make one large man. So
It would be very hard because both of you have uteruses.
I get that, but I just meant in size.
You had to get with a guy at one point.
Okay. So we're going for this training, and all these guys are putting out the fire, and so then it gets to, I'm in front of her in this line, and they're like, oh, we ran out of the smaller fire extinguishers. You're going to have to use the 40 pounder. So I'm like, oh, that's all right. We've been training for a while. I can use a 40 pounder. He goes, yeah, but you can't put out this fire with a 40 pounder. So they set a diesel engine on fire. A diesel engine in a power plant is not like a diesel engine in your car. It's 12 feet tall.
Right.
So
That's a big ass engine, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for the record. Let's not gloss over that either.
So I'm putting out the fire in the 12-foot tall diesel engine for my fire brigade training, which I did put out, and I did really well.
Congratulations.
I did have to put out a fire. All of a sudden I get a call on my thing. I was the assistant to the head of safety, and on the fire brigade, he was the head of the fire brigade. So all of a sudden we get this call. We're up in nuclear by the pool. There's a fire. You have to come right now. So we're running. We're putting gear on. A welder had put tinfoil in the microwave, and it blew up.
Oh my God. Seriously?
Yeah, that's the only fire I ever fought.
Nuclear plant, folks. Nuclear plant.
This guy works at the nuclear plant.
Now, granted, not
Well, he's a welder, so the
He's a
welders are kind of
welder.
contracted out, though.
Yeah.
It's a weird deal. Like, the way it works
Yeah.
is they go in there for just a limited amount. They don't really work
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. He didn't actually work for the plant, but and
What a weird deal, by the way.
not everyone that works at a nuclear power plant can actually go near anything. There's like almost like a dividing line. Like there's the hot side and the that they call it the cold side, but the hot side is where you get radiation, where you're actually near radiation, and there's a wall there, and you have to have special clearances to be able to get in there. And the people that I'm talking about did not have the clearance to go near anything that they could have actually damaged that would have done harm. Like they were locked out of those rooms.
I don't think that they should be allowed past the gates into the property, quite frankly. Don't blow up a microwave in a nuclear facility. Please.
Yeah, don't blow anything up in there. Like, there's nothing good to get blown up in there. Why is there even a microwave in there to begin with?
Well, this is in the break room. It wasn't like in the, like it wasn't in the middle of the plant. The funniest, and
I'm just saying, by the way.
I worked in the.
Gives nuke it a whole new meaning, by the way.
Yeah, right. I worked in the hot side, and the one day
I bet you did.
I
bet you did.
You know,
Sorry, I was waiting on that one.
know.
I was like a
because
snake. I was
you've
backing
heard
like a
this,
snake.
because you've heard a lot
I
of
was
these
waiting
stories.
for this one. I was like,
You know
oh
what-
boy, here it comes.
You know what the crappy part is when you're one of the only women in a nuclear facility is that when you have the clearance to go in there, to go to the reactor buildings and stuff like that.
No, call it the hot side.
The hot side, they put it on your helmet, but they say hot worker.
Nice.
That's totally chauvinistic.
So
That's
me
awesome.
and my one friend, and we're the only two women in the whole plant, and we have hot worker right across the back of our hard hats. I'm like, you guys are dicks.
That's America right there.
That is
That's why it's America.
That's,
But just to show the illusion of like safety, they have all these. Oh, you're gonna work with nuclear facility, but that's okay because we're gonna monitor all the radiation and make sure that you don't get too much and all this. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm pretty safe, whatever. Working in the reactor building one day, and every meter is going off, and then you have to have like two always on you, and then there's like three more that sometimes you have. Every meter is going off, and everything is buzzing. So I go downstairs and I'm like, because they tell you immediately go down to the health physics because something is wrong. You're getting way too much radiation. So I'm running down there. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to start glowing. And I go down there. I'm like, listen, everything's going off here. It's still going off and I'm not even there anymore. So she plugs everything into the computer, does a bunch of stuff, says, here you go. Just go ahead and go back. I'm like, well, it was going off when I was back there. She's, yeah, I upped your limit. You're fine. Just go back.
At a nuclear plant, folks. Let's not gloss over that.
but so you were the assistant to the safety director?
To the head of safety.
To
yeah.
the head of safety. So, like, part of your job is to make sure that everybody's got both pairs of safety goggles with them at all times.
Yeah.
Like the safety goggle checker.
We had to check, and this is funny. And when you're working in a nuclear facility, and most power plants in general, you have what's called like a fire watch. So you have like your welders working, and then you have someone that just sits there and watch to make sure that no fires start and things. We actually had to go around, and it was the dumbest stuff. I had to make sure there wasn't too many plugs plugged into the wall, that my fire watches were awake and watching to make sure that there was no fire. And, you have people that run like what they call it a foreign material exclusion area, where they rope off an area and everything that goes in there has to be cataloged to make sure it all comes out. Because if they turn that machine back on and like a wrench is stuck in, you're in trouble. So you catalog everything, and everybody's got to tape down their pockets and stuff. And I used to have to audit them to make sure that everything. But that's all. I literally was like I just walked around all day, like, oh, hey, how you guys doing? Did you get in all your paperwork? It was the now.
Got both your goggles?
Yeah,
Goggle check.
when I went to
Hey, did you ever say goggle check ever?
no, never.
Damn it.
But when
Damn it, I really wish you did.
I actually
Did you lie and say you did?
Sure,
Did
I did
people
it.
like shuffle around and like make sure they
Oh,
had
hold
both
on.
pairs
Danielle's coming. Let me make sure I got my goggles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was all the time. No, actually, most people were like,
Where's Danielle?
She's walking around somewhere.
But I really did like the nuke plant, but my favorite was the coal plant, which is way more dangerous actually than a nuclear facility. And I didn't get to be the head of anything or even the assistant to the head of anything. I just swept all day, but it was awesome.
How very work office space of you. That was a good reference, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
She doesn't know because she's never seen it.
Well, you know what? I'm
She
gonna go ahead and change subjects here real quick. And,
no segue.
No segue.
That we can bring.
No
we
segue.
can point
I'm
that out.
gonna ask a
Right.
story though. Greg, you ever been driving around with something in the back of your vehicle that you knew you shouldn't have been?
Never. Not ever once in my life.
All right. Well, have you ever
Hypothetically, if you were.
hypothetically? Yeah, let's talk about hypothetically. So hypothetically, you're driving around with something in your back, right?
Okay.
Are you're conscious of all the decisions that you're making at the time to make sure that you're not breaking the law, right?
Yes.
You ever done where you driven like a fool, and then when you got to someplace, you finally found that you had some stuff sitting back there that you didn't know you had, and you're like, "Oh crap! I can't believe I just drove like that."
Right.
Like you're all nervous, even though you're at the location. Now you know, and you won't do this again. You're nervous, like the cops are just going to mysteriously come up to you 5 minutes later and be like, "20 miles ago, when you were driving like a madman, we saw you."
I've actually had that happen to me. So, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah. I actually had a cop like come and get me out of a house like 5 minutes after I ran a stop sign, like going to my friend's house. It was like a block away from his house. I did the roll through the stop sign. Didn't come to the complete stop.
But he didn't catch you quick enough on the street. He had to wait till you were 5 minutes into a house.
I have no idea why he.
Probably had to finish his donut.
Yeah, but
So,
yeah, I was sitting on the couch watching TV already.
or maybe he had a hooker.
Could be.
Could be. You never know. Could have been a hooker. Well,
Anyway, yeah.
there was a woman in Ohio. She took a car she bought 7 months ago at a dealership. She had a flat tire, so she had to replace it. And she's been driving around for 7 months with 8 pounds of marijuana in the spare tire. Street value $12,000. Some of the mechanics at the dealership made the discovery when they installed the spare tire and heard a loud thumping as the woman drove away, police said on Wednesday. They found marijuana worth about $12,000 wrapped in plastic that had been stashed in the tire, according to Chief Deputy Dennis Kavanaugh of the County Police Department. So the car was purchased new in August, by the way.
Wait, if it was purchased new, that means it wasn't like a previous owner.
Somebody was putting that stuff in there on purpose.
Well, most American-made cars are actually assembled in Mexico now. So,
I mean, it could be just drug trade.
And
Somebody made a mistake. Somebody probably got shot for that spare tire.
yeah.
Somebody got killed for losing that one.
Someone pulled up with the Toyota Corolla without the weed in it. It was in a lot of
No,
trouble.
seriously, no. I thought it was there. Damn it. Now I'm dead. That's horrible. You were driving around for 7 months. I'll bet you that woman freaked out. She was like, "Oh my God, I've had 8 pounds or 7 pounds of weed in my car for 7 months."
I'd have been pissed.
Oh, I'd have been pissed.
I'd have been pissed.
I'd have been pissed. I can't. No. Give me that tire back. Give me that.
You didn't see
tire.
nothing.
You didn't see. I'll give you some.
I think I want to disassemble every car I ever get from this point, because I saw a thing a few weeks ago about like a big bunch of money that somebody found in a car. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
You're just gonna field strip your cars just to be sure. Just to
feel
double check.
I feel like I have to. I feel like
just in case.
I feel like it's my civic duty.
Like there's an ounce of key. There's a key in the gas tank or something.
I gotta keep it off the streets if it's there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. No. You gotta.
I can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
That's true. What if you sold the vehicle, and they got a hold of it, and then
Yeah. What if some kid gets a hold of this?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
for the children.
Exactly.
It's for America. Do it for. Don't kill old people with that. So, that's what they do. People get high, they go kill old people. Mm-hmm. Kids get the drugs, they get high, they go out and they kill old people.
And they kill old people. They throw them like off the cliff.
Yeah.
They drive into the
Yeah.
ocean at Daytona
Paul
Beach.
Ryan, high at the time. You know?
So,
And we talk about Rob Ford a lot.
speaking of marijuana,
Speaking of drugs, we talk about Rob Ford all the time because he is awesome. But there there was an actual parody Twitter account made for Rob Ford. And they just basically, you know, make fun of basically everything and say it's from Rob Ford.
Which it could be.
Which it could be because he's, you know, very often in a drunken stupor speaking with a Jamaican accent.
I love this tweet. My condolences to my friend Vladimir Putin. His hockey team was bullied out of the Olympics by gay-loving Finland.
Now that Twitter actually threw the account off of Twitter because of that tweet.
Well, that'll do it.
And I mean, it was so a joke.
It was.
I mean, if you're going to parody Rob Ford, it's hard to get like more outrageous than what he actually does in real life.
Exactly.
You know, we don't have the right to be not offended either. You know? We don't have the right to be not offended. Like, I don't have the right to not be offended by something that you say. You want to say something and it's offensive, then...
Oh, I thoroughly believe that offense is in the eye of the offended.
Yeah. But it has to be for, you know, everything but, you know, yelling fire in a crowded, you know, in a movie theater or something like that. I mean, again, I know that's the example that everybody tries to use, but, you know.
Well, look, you want to tell a joke. You want to tell a dead baby joke.
Go ahead.
If it offends you to hear that, well,
you should stop listening to that person.
Yeah,
but you don't have the right to shut them up.
Yeah.
Right.
And it could be the worst stuff in the world, man. You just don't got the right to shut people up.
The free speech, it doesn't protect the speech you love. It protects the speech you hate.
Exactly. Oh, another nugget, by the way. Boy, you're just rolling them out.
When you're out there saying the things everybody wants to hear, nobody's going to try and shut you up. Mm-hmm. So when you start saying things nobody wants to hear, that people are going, he can't say that. Mm-hmm. And that's when it's necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's no easier way to say it.
Yeah. I think you want to know. Here's the thing. Let that stuff be out there.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I took it as the joke that it was. It was a joke. And I mean,
Rob Ford's a joke.
I look at it when you're parroting, when you're trying to make a parody site of someone like Rob Ford, like you have to expect that these tweets are going to be pretty outrageous because the guy in real life, you almost don't believe it's real. Like, what mayor anywhere gets into a drunken stupor and speaks in a Jamaican accent while he's at dinner?
Toronto.
Only him.
And here's the thing, though. In all reality, that tweet is not even. It's not homophobic.
Well, I bet you the mayor of Kingston gets drunk and speaks in a Jamaican accent.
You know. I mean, hold on. Does Finland have a very pro-gay policy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So would you say they're gay-loving? I mean, is a pejorative? I mean, I guess you could say it as a negative too, but it's not like.
I think that they're a very tolerant country.
Well, what it is, they're a tolerant country of gays, and what it is, it's a jab at Russia.
It's not a whole country of gays, is it? Like all the gays moved to Finland?
No, they're just
but
very tolerant.
A lot of Western Europe is very tolerant of gays, and it's different kind of world. Russia is obviously.
Boy, they're not.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was a jab of saying, "Ha ha, the gay-loving Finland team, bullied your ass."
Yeah.
So that's what it was about.
And they really, I mean, they stuff gets violent over there, boy.
Yes.
Man. Like if you're like a social conservative though, like, how do you really get mad at Russia?
Right.
You would think all these neocons would actually like Russia and not be ready to go to war.
I'm surprised they hate him as much as they do. Like, I don't like Russia. I don't like the country. I mean, glad they protected Edward Snowden, so I guess one good on him.
Well, it's funny. I was just talking about this today or yesterday, I think. Everybody's, like, in love with Vladimir Putin, it seems. Everybody talks about, how weak Obama is and how strong Putin is. And there's like this love affair with Putin, it seems, for people. When I was growing up, it was like Red Dawn and Iron Eagle, and the Russians were the enemy. And you don't say a kind word about the Russians at all because it's Cold War and we hate the Russians and damn communists. And that's how it was. And now, well, we watch Russia Today, and we trust the Russian media more than we trust our own. And, we look at Vladimir Putin and say, that's a strong leader, and our leader's weak. And
Well,
what a role reversal, huh? In our lifetime.
This is one of the commercials that RT actually put out was like the best propaganda right now is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that you do see this, where, there used to be like this, you don't talk good about Russia because of the Cold War and everything with that. But now you almost look at, well, I don't agree with their politics, but they're honest about it. Like, I don't agree with the things that they do, but they're honest, I mean, you do get better news from Russia today. You may not like Putin, but at least he's going to tell you I'm a socialist.
Well, they don't have to make
communist.
anything up to make America look bad anymore.
You almost have to think like if Russia today said, "Hey guys, they're doing such crazy shit, we can just go legit, and it still will be great."
Well, look what happened with this whole Crimea thing in Ukraine though. They have one just resigned because of it. One just got off the air because of it.
Right.
And they're threatening to send Abby Martin over to Crimea, and to go see for herself. Because that's what their response was. But go see for yourself what's going on over there. I don't even think it was a threat. I think it was go see for yourself what's going on.
Right. It was
over
almost
there.
just encouraging to do it.
Honestly, they don't think they're in the wrong here.
Well, it's my understanding it's mostly defensive action that they're taking there, and I could be wrong as far as the Russian military. Now, what the people there in that area have been doing, I can't say for sure, but the Russian military, as far as I understand, has been defending their interests, and that's really
I haven't seen any fighting on TV. Like, I haven't seen any video clips of fighting going on over there right now.
Well, I don't know that they...
Like, not with the Russians. They had the Civil War going on. That was a whole different story. But now that the Russians are there, I don't see anything.
Well, I mean, I think that what people overlook is that a large majority of the people there are Russian. So there's not as much, oh my gosh, the Russians are invading us, as
thank God the Russians are here.
As we see it, because we see it as a sovereign nation that they're going into, where the people there see it as their home, their people coming in to protect them. So, as much as when we go into a place like the Middle East, we are occupiers. We are going in there, and the people don't want us there. When you're looking at this situation, it's not the same situation because the majority of the people there are Russian, and they are looking at this as they're being protected. So, it's not the same situation.
Either way, it ain't our business.
It would be more like if the United States had broken up after the Civil War and the federal government was moving to reclaim states, and there was strife in states, and there were people that wanted the federal government to come in and become back a part of the union again. That's more what it's like than what we've been doing. So they certainly, Russia has a right to be involved in what's going on in their backyard. Right. And there are people who want them involved who are there. So if those people want Russia involved, who are we to tell them that Russia can't be involved? And it's not our business.
Huh? And I think if we took that kind of stance, I actually think that if we started to actually take that kind of stance, I think you would actually see the world get along in a lot better terms, actually, which is the funny part. Like, we're screwing this up ourselves. Yeah. Like, we can fix this problem. We just stop effing around.
Stop being dicks.
Yeah, stop being... Yeah, we need the foreign policy of stop being dicks foreign policy. Now, other countries are dicks, too, so I'm not even going to say that they're not dicks, but look, man, you just don't... Right now, we've been a dick for a long time. Let's worry about us not being a dick. Because again, if we had to really fight a big war right now, it ain't going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. Matter of fact, it's going to be hard. You got a worn-out military right now. These guys need to rest for a little while. Let's have a decade of some peace, if you don't mind. Let's start building up our, and again, fix technology, make it so it's even cooler, I guess. But Jesus, stop with all the crap.
Well, you just said you're a big dick if you use robots.
Well, I'm not saying you don't have robots. I'm saying you put them in 7 countries at the same time. It's kind of a dick move, but if you're building them here in case somebody, again, I still have the parking lot theory of foreign policies.
I know you do.
I'll get the hell out of your business, but don't get in mine or I'm going to nuke you. I'll blow you up. We're making parking lots. You ain't going to have people left you won't have anybody left to say we surrender. You know,
Well,
no other country will ever mess with you again. As long as you're nice the rest of the time. It ain't like you can be a dick all the time, but if you go to war, it's on. We won't even lose anybody. We'll drone bomb you with a nuke.
why not?
But again, we'll never have to do it.
Never want to do it. Just want to threaten you with it.
I just want to say, look, man, if if you're a big dick to us, then we're going to come and get you. And we have bigger dicks.
Speak softly, but carry a big dick.
Yep. That's right. That's a good way to say it. We'll take a break on that. We'll break on that.
What do you want to do for break?
I don't know.
So how we going to break?
I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. Hey, can we play? Are we allowed to play clips?
Play clips?
Clips of what?
Like a comedy clip for like 3 minutes, or will they cut us off for that?
No, not if we don't own the rights to it.
Oh, okay, all right. Jody James, how long is Jody? And we could do Lucas, but
Jody James.
yeah, how long is Jody on this?
6 minutes. 5 minutes, 58 seconds.
That's all we need, right?
Sure.
Are we good with that?
Yeah.
All right, Jody James. We'll take a break here real quick. Well, by the way, if you want to call the program, the studio line number, 1-800-525-4032. That's Refresh Telecom, 1-800-525-4032. I really feel like a dick sometimes for not mentioning the phone number, by the way. I wish I would get, if you guys can remind me.
Well, sometimes we forget.
We all forgot, huh?
Yeah.
It happens. What can you do?
We totally went past my introduction. I'm not surprised you didn't give out the phone number.
Yeah, I think we started talking during Greg's introduction.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about T-shirts.
And
then
now we're talking about foreign policy, but we still never actually introduced Greg.
I'll tell you what, the family circus route this first hour has taken is definitely crazy. We got to get back on track and get off the rails here on the way back. We have to get off track to get back on track, to be honest with you.
Right.
We'll have a topic in the next hour. I don't know what that is yet, so let's think about that.
We're going to think about a topic on
Yeah, why not? We'll think about it. So, all right. You listening off the rails? Are you ready?
Network.com. On the phone with me right now, Jody James. Now, if you don't know who Jody James is, she is the executive director of the Florida Cannabis Action Network. Their website is floridacan.org. That's FLCAN.org. Jody, how are you doing today?
I'm excellent, Alex. Thank you very much for having me today.
Oh, no, my pleasure, my pleasure. So I wanted really to talk to you specifically about what's going on. Now, if people are unfamiliar with Florida Can you let everybody know exactly what it is that Florida Can is doing?
Well, I'll tell you who Florida Can is, and I'd love to tell you what Florida Can is doing. Florida Cannabis Action Network is one of the longest surviving, lasting organizations for marijuana reform in the state of Florida. We're very proud of our legacy, protecting individual liberties. We've been to the 11th Circuit Court for First Amendment work. We've been out there protecting your right to protest and demonstrate. And in the last couple of years, we've been working very closely with the Florida legislature to move the conversation about marijuana reform and start creating some sensible marijuana policies in Florida.
And what are some of the things that are going to be coming up on the 2014 schedule that you guys have been spearheading?
Well, this is really going to be an exciting year for us. Medical marijuana is pulling in at 82%, which is across all demographic. We have responsible use by adults, legalization, whatever term you want to use, pulling in at 59%. So we're going to really be looking at a number of bills in the Florida legislature. We want to get comprehensive cannabis reform in Florida. That's our objective. We're going to be working with the Republican leadership to reclassify cannabis, to start to define what we're afraid of. I guess that's probably the best answer right now. But we're looking at redefining cannabis. We're looking at changing something in the sentencing. We have 38,000 adults being arrested in the state of Florida every year for misdemeanor cannabis possession. We think that's ridiculous. It's not financially sound, and you're damaging 38,000 plus lives every year by continuing that policy. So we're looking at some legislation coming out of criminal justice that will start to maybe roll back some of those harms. And then, of course, we're going to be looking at the Kathy Jordan medical cannabis bill again. As a matter of fact, I have a draft on my desk right now, filed by Senator Clemens, and you can tell they're really the legislature is taking this very seriously by the comments that we got back from bill drafting. The Kathy Jordan Medical Cannabis Act is really a comprehensive program, actually written by a libertarian. Go, Bill. Bill Wolfer has actually wrote the bill for us, and we're doing some tweaks. And by the comments that we're getting back from bill drafting, you know that they're really looking at how this fits into law. So I'm very excited about the prospect. We're fundraising. We need to be in Tallahassee starting in January. This is one of the committee weeks. I don't know if you would be aware of that, but we're in committee week right now. There are 2 more committee weeks in January, 3 committee weeks in February, and the regular session starts March 4th. And you can be assured that Florida Cannabis Action Network is going to be looking at a lot of bills dealing with cannabis.
Now, if you are an individual who supports the legalization of cannabis, either on a medical basis or wants to see the ball move forward here, what can people do as an individual in order to get more involved to help you in your efforts?
Well, the first thing is to sign up on our mailing list at flcan.org. Whether you consider yourself a very talented speaker or you are just someone who can click and send, we need you. We need people who can, we call it water cooler conversations. We talk about themes like let no ignorance go unanswered. If you are a little bit educated about this issue, right now you're an expert because there's a whole lot of new people who are starting to think about this. You know, you have the early adopters, which many of us have been when it comes to the cannabis issue, but when you get to the point where you have 82% on board, now you're talking about a whole lot of people who know nothing about this, except it sounds like a good idea. So if you're already a supporter, keep up the water cooler conversations. Make sure that when someone comes in and they're talking about this, that you give them good facts and information. If you are on the flcan.org email list, we will help you find your niche, whether, again, you want to go out and be a public speaker about this or whether you just want to be the person who constantly signs our petitions. We need both of those folks. And fundraising. It's going to cost us about $20,000 before we pay salaries to have the people in Tallahassee that we need to put in front of the lawmakers.
Absolutely.
So,
and they can make that donation at flcan.org, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if it's somebody who would be interested in a tax-deductible donation, we have some educational programs. But those dollars that we're going to spend in Tallahassee, that's going to be directly to educate lawmakers.
And it seems like because we have 80% that's already supporting it, the only educating left to do is with the lawmakers, at least in that aspect.
That's a fact. This is going to be a great session. I'm really excited about it. I'd like to have the money in the bank this week instead of next week or the week after. But even with the agony and the stress that not having the money is causing me, I'm very excited about the tone. We call Representative Van Zant's office and say, did you get our information about medical marijuana? And they say, no, we didn't get it. Can you send it again? Well, at least they called us back.
Yeah, exactly. No, when you're getting calls back, you know it's a good thing. Jody,
that's a really good thing.
And Jody, thank you so much. We really appreciate you spending a couple minutes to talk with us. And again, everybody, the website, flcan.org. Please check it out and also check out what they're doing over at the Florida Cannabis Action Network. Jody, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alex.
All right, we're back. We're back. If you'd like to call the program, by the way, the number is 1-800-525-4032, 1-800-525-4032. Well, I hope you liked the little break there with Florida Can. Always a nice interview right there. A lot going on up in Tallahassee with them. Would you like to go down the wrong road first?
Sure.
Talk about a segue. That actually was a pretty decent segue, I gotta say.
Until you started talking about it being a segue.
Oh, yeah, that happens. So, hold on. So, if you're drunk, this is a brand new defense, by the way. This is great. So, an alleged drunk driver stopped in West Hartford on Thursday, blamed the GPS on his cell phone for sending him the wrong way in Interstate 84, according to police. West Hartford police officer Peter Schneeke, or whatever, was assigned to the DUI patrol when he saw a car go from... Again, hold on. This guy's on a DUI patrol. He sees a car go Park Road on the off-ramp about 2 a.m. on Saturday, February 27th, or 22nd, driving the wrong way despite the wrong way signs, police said. So, hold on a second. This dude takes the wrong turn and he's drunk onto the interstate and says it's the GPS's fault?
Now, have you ever, and I don't know, because, normally you're not looking at the GPS, and I'm kind of saying, go here and go there and that. So I don't know how much this has happened to you, but I've seen it happen other times where we had GPSs that would talk, and you would just, there was no looking. You were just mindlessly doing whatever it said. And there were times where, like I was following someone one time, and we were going to some attraction, I think it was like a dinner show. And I'm looking at the sign for the dinner show at the next light. Like I'm literally at the next light looking at it. And I see that the person who I'm following is the light before it turning left. And I call up and I'm like, listen, I it's the next light. No. The GPS said to turn here. We're turning here. The GPS said. And I'm like, no, I can see the sign. Like I'm watching people pull into the parking lot. Like that's it over there. No. GPS said to turn here. And we ended up in the middle of nowhere. Like we're in the middle of a subdivision. And then it said, okay, you've arrived. And we're like at someone's house. So people really do follow the GPS even when they know it's wrong.
Yeah, I don't. I don't trust GPS. I've been led to the wrong place too many times.
I actually had and we were actually, we were there at the building where I had a restaurant and we delivered. And I had a delivery driver call me up and was like, my car is stuck in the middle of the woods. Can someone come pull me out? I'm like, how did you go to delivering food to end up being in the middle of the woods? And he's like, well, the GPS told me to turn. And I'm like, okay, when you saw there was no road there, did you not question the GPS's directions?
When's the last time you ran an update?
Like when it said turn right and you saw a big grouping of trees, did you not kind of say, hey, this doesn't look right? And I guess the subdivision he was supposed to be in was like right past those trees, and the GPS thought there was some road there, but it was literally just a big patch of trees.
Nice.
Hey, GPS wasn't always good. I mean, but this guy had his phone though. This was a phone one, a brand more, more than likely a newer phone one. I gotta tell you, I imagine this was not happening in the case in this incident right here.
You don't think the GPS told him the wrong direction?
No.
You think he was just drunk and he just went the wrong direction?
Yeah, at 2 a.m., yeah. I'm not, the GPS gets the benefit of the doubt, not the guy with the .095 alcohol level. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it was between .101 and .095 according to the police. Again, first off, don't drink and drive anyway, right?
Right, ever.
But if you are going to drink and drive, don't be a dumbass. There were signs that said you're going the wrong way. And if you don't know the road, then don't drive on the damn road. Go to the roads you know. Don't get drunk in places you're not supposed to be getting drunk at. And don't drive anyway. Just take the damn cab. But if you have to.
You shouldn't ever have to.
You should never have to. You're right. You should never have to. But if you're just going to do it anyway, then just be safe when you do it.
Like, don't drive the wrong way on the highway.
Yeah, and don't drive the wrong way on the highway. That is that's a really good rule. Like, you should follow that rule.
Well,
you should never be too drunk where you don't know to follow. If you're that drunk, then you definitely got to take a cab.
If you can't read the signs that said "Do not enter wrong way," you're probably way too drunk to drive.
I can't walk. What do you expect me to do? How am I supposed to get my car back to the house? Well, it doesn't matter, though, because apparently now you can be arrested for DWI even if you blow a 0.00.
Yes, I have seen that story.
Saw that story. Texas resident Larry Davis ran either a red light or stop sign, reports vary, in his Buick in the city of Austin. Despite his insistence that he had only one drink, he was put in handcuffs and arrested for driving while intoxicated. Then, when he was given a breathalyzer test by the Austin Police Department, he blew a 0.00. Nonetheless, Mr. Davis spent the night in jail. Mm-hmm. While at the station, Mr. Davis agreed to give a blood sample as well to prove he was not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. The results would later come back 100% negative.
So
Sorry, I got to take a phone call.
He was. See what happens when you start giving out the number?
Oh, somebody actually is calling, huh? Well, that's good. We'll see who it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do go like sometimes you do end up going the wrong way with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand, you don't want people drinking and driving, but you're at 0.0, man. What are you guys doing?
Right. He was
You have
not
no
actually
alcohol in your,
drinking
you have
and
nothing in
driving.
your system.
Like he wasn't even like there wasn't even like drinking at all. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Wasn't even like on the borderline.
Yeah. Now, while we're waiting on this, though, let's do the bunch of bullion. It's a bunch of bullion. So there's these people in California, $10 million they find in their backyard full of gold.
Right. Like these little like canisters full of like gold coins.
Man, who put that stuff there, by the way?
I don't know.
Did they ever figure out who put it there?
No, that's what this is talking about. They originally thought it was like a San Francisco, like a bank heist, where they had some, like it was like 1,400 coins that had been stolen, and so they thought that it was from like this bank heist and everything, and that this must be, but now it's actually been found out that it is not from this. They have no idea where the coins came from, but there's all these canisters that were basically buried in their backyard. Now, does not make you just like want to dig up your entire backyard to see if there's anything out there?
Yeah. Absolutely it does.
Just in case.
For the same reason Greg wants to,
Dismantle
melt down
his
the car. Well, not melt it down because he might ruin something that's in there, but I'm just...
just in case.
Oh, yeah. That was amazing, by the way. It really is. It's one of those, like... But, everybody wants to try to get a piece of it. Now, how much? Here's the thing. How much were they actually worth when they were buried, though?
It's saying they were $10 gold coins.
50 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 50 $10 gold coins.
So
was that $500?
That's what it was worth then, which is still a lot of money, though. Not to discount it or anything
Right.
like that, but it's... What's that? Go ahead.
Well, we actually have a caller, Chuck, on the line.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Chuck. Chuck, how you doing, sir? Are you there, Chuck?
Did we lose you?
Did you lose Chuck? We get one call. Oh, there you are.
had
Hang
it
on.
on
Hold on.
mute.
Yeah, don't mute him.
Telling the leadership to get there at 9. But we want to be out in the crowd by 9:30.
All right, go ahead, Chuck. You're on the air.
Go to,
We're picking up something. You got your TV on in the background or something?
Activism group on the website.
No, man, I'm outside.
Financially. If everybody
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're
just-
picking
He's with
up.
he's with Henry Bentley. That's what I
You guys
know.
are like cutting out.
The gentleman running for
But what I was going to say was, when nobody else is around, real libertarians run the stop sign,
Well, hold on a second. That actually brings up a good point. I mean, you might roll stop it though, but you probably wouldn't just blow past it though, because you don't know for sure if there's not another car coming the other way.
That would be reckless, right? But, I mean, if you're a responsible adult, you look around, you see nobody else is there, particularly somebody with flashy lights on top of their car, you roll it on through.
Yeah, I know. No, I hear you there. Hey, let me ask you a question, Chuck, if you don't mind. Do you like the roundabouts?
The roundabout, I like the roundabouts. Yeah,
I
I'm
like
actually
the roundabouts.
from Maryland originally, and they had those. Where were they? There was some state up there. I remember when I was younger, we used to go through those in like Pennsylvania or Jersey or somewhere, and it seemed more convenient and safer, because then people can't speed.
Why? And less damage on your brakes too, I think. Because you don't have to
Hate
come to a
that.
complete
Right.
stop. You can just kind of roll through it, though.
Every time we travel and we hit roundabouts, I'm like, ugh. And he's like, I love them. And it's like
I like roundabouts.
it's like the library fight all over again, except roundabouts.
Well, I guess. Hey, Chuck, was there anything you wanted to bring up, by the way? We are waiting with bated breath, sir.
Well, yeah, because you guys were talking about Facebook earlier. I don't know, have you guys heard about Liberty.me? That's supposed to be like the libertarian Facebook. That's supposed to come out this year.
Liberty.me.
Everyone-
Already go to our keyboard right now.
Everyone went to a computer.
I am unaware of this as of right now, but let me go ahead and
How
download
is
the
there
information.
social media that we don't know about?
Right.
I'm such a spammer on social media, like I figured I would have a new one then.
Alex is going to be making pages on here like
Liberty.me.
crazy.
Right now, there's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
going on with it
yeah.
yet, but it just looks like it's getting ready. You know what they're doing? I'll bet you know what I think they're doing. They got to build the audience first,
Right, they're
in
gonna
order to.
build up
Great
their
idea, by the
base.
way. That's a great idea. I'm gonna sign up right now.
Actually, I'm like, but all
We're
of
all
us are
signing
like,
up.
Yes, we'll all sign up right this very second just to see what it's all about. It's good. Look, I honestly, there needs to be an alternative to Facebook. I view social media now completely different. I view it as I want to talk to people of like mind, and we'll organize and go out and do things to talk to other people. But I don't want to talk to I don't want to argue anymore on Facebook. You know,
He says that.
draining. Man, I'm sick of it.
Wait, this is the funny thing. He says he doesn't want to argue anymore on Facebook, as there are so many times in our day I'm literally talking to him about something important, and he is not listening to me as he angry types away at someone on Facebook.
Not as much as I used to. Not nearly as much as I used to, though. Hey, well, hold on, Chuck. Do you know anything about this? Are you involved in it in any way, shape, manner, or form?
No, it's Jeffrey Tucker. You know, he had the guy that had worked for Ron Paul back in the day. He's like a libertarian luminary or whatever.
Like an '08 kind of thing.
This is '08, I think.
Like an '08 thing. Well, that's good. He had time to put this thing together. That's good.
Sharing liberty.me.
Are you sharing it too? Like it's all getting shared all at the same time.
I am also sharing it on Facebook.
Let's all move.
It sounded cool. Like he said, it was also supposed to have stuff like, and you know, kind of like what you said, because since it's all going to be people of like mind, people are going to share different stuff. Like he was talking about stuff like things on how to get around regulations and stuff, like stuff like pulling the little thing out of your shower head so that way you can get a full shower, or different kind of stuff like that is supposed to be part of it.
Oh, well, that would be kind of cool too, though. It's nice to see that. Again, I'd rather spend my time talking to the converted than talking to the unconverted. It all depends on who's going to use the site too, because you know it's always been who's been in charge of some of these other social media sites that have caused their downfall, because they did want to control the agenda, though, and that's always the one thing that ends up being an Achilles heel here, though. Maybe this won't be the case here. It depends on how kind of freewheeling it is, but like there was another one. What's the name of that one? Damn it, I don't remember the name of it. There was one that was run. I ended up finding out later on it was just run by neocons. They hated libertarians there. Like they hated Ron Paul people. They hated libertarians. It was during the 12 campaign, and you would go there and you would just see all this just vile stuff. And it was almost impossible to delete your account. Like I almost couldn't. I was so pissed that I was getting these emails all the time, and yet I couldn't get in there to actually delete my account. Like it was like I felt abused. Like I felt like they violated the NAP with this site. Damn it, they really did. But so with one like this would be better though if it's that's who's running it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just got to be something everybody starts to use, because if you're the only one in there, then you just
it's like Google Plus.
But you know what? I'll tell you. You know who? It's like Google Plus.
Took him a minute.
Very good. Another nugget. That's 3 for you tonight, by the way, Greg. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please expand on this, Chuck, because we got to quit talking so much.
No. I mean, that's all I know about it. If you Google it, he's got like an Indiegogo campaign for it, and it talks a little bit about it, and he's done interviews about it. So it sounds pretty cool, and it's kind of exciting, because I think everybody's kind of feeling that way. Because another thing with Facebook, you know, with like the quote unquote fan pages and stuff, like that stuff isn't really, it doesn't have as much reach anymore. Like Facebook is kind of changed the way they do it, I guess, because now they want to start charging people and whatever for it. So now I'd imagine even like for Liberty Underground page, it's probably harder for you guys to even reach, you know, like the unconverted, because it's from what I hear, it's not going out to as many people anymore. It's not even hitting all your fans. You know, like when you post, I don't even think I see it anymore. Like
yeah.
It's much more difficult on Facebook now to do that. And that's going to be another Achilles heel of theirs too. I mean, if they try to limit it. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, now the Facebook, if you do pay for it and get the ads, you do bring a bunch of people to your page, though, and there's certain tricks of the trade that I have no idea how to do most of the time anyway. You're supposed to ask people questions and stuff, and I can't do that crap. I don't converse. I don't use social media that way.
He's too busy making other pages.
I mean, I do have an ungodly amount of pages that I have made.
But he has now graduated from making all of these Facebook pages to now he is obsessed with making actual websites. So we have graduated to owning every Facebook group and page on the planet to now starting the actual website empire of Snicker.
Uh-oh. Somebody figured out WordPress.
Hold on.
Exactly.
You know what social media platform had a chance and then just couldn't get it together was RTR.org.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the concept. I could never get it to work the way I wanted it to work. Like and not enough people used it. Like nobody was ever on it.
I mean,
Chuck, do you know RTR.org?
No, I never used that one.
Oh, it was like Restore the Republic. I think Franchi put it up.
Yeah, it was French.
I think that was who it was.
Oh, cool.
It was a good idea, but it just never worked right though.
The important
And now he's
thing,
got a
though-
radio. Now he's got a television network. So
The important thing, though, will I be able to play Mafia
You know you can
Wars on Liberty.nbc?
no, you're not going to play that. What were we going to say, Chuck?
You know you can get the N3 on the Roku box now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Roku. That's
like-
another way to
yeah.
go. We should really be going after a lot more
we
of that
should
stuff.
get Roku.
Yeah, I know we suck though. I mean, we're so bad at that. You know, we don't dedicate enough time to just the show. That's the problem.
No,
We'd
no,
have to
I
go
was
on with somebody else.
I was talking about in our own home.
Oh yeah, we should totally. I mean, we're stupid for that too, though.
Talking about in our house. We
Oh
should get
yeah.
Roku.
No, you're right. We should write that down. Write that down. Write that shit down.
You get another box for like Kelly to be like, I don't know what this does.
Well, the only problem with that is though, you still got to have Verizon because you got to have the good
You have to
cable
have the
connection.
internet.
I mean, we have too many computers up at the same time. Obviously, everybody went to a different computer to pull up Liberty.me and sign up all at the same time. So there's at least 4 sitting here in the damn studio. You know, most of the time they're not even used except for right now when we do the show, and then they all got to be on at the same time. But it's just the freaking way it is, you know.
And we're streaming video.
Yeah, we're streaming shit, and we didn't even turn half the computers out in the main one. The TV's
Oh, that's
probably
right.
on.
There's still all
you know?
the computers
Mikey's
out there.
probably doing something on the TV somewhere.
Mikey's playing Call of Duty, blasting fools. And
Got him play Call of Duty yet. He plays the Star Wars Lego game and still ain't figured that one out.
Oh
Really?
gosh, he gets so
He's only-
frustrated with it.
Yeah, he gets frustrated. He hasn't learned like you know how in video games at a certain point you would get what I would call the chi.
right.
Like, because you can pick up any video game at that point and at least play it very quickly. Like, you can learn how it works quickly.
You can adapt.
He does not have that yet. He has not learned. He's still in that beginning stage of like being like an apprentice before you even get the chi.
The
Right.
thing is it's probably a game that's for a little older than he is.
I love the Lego Star
But
Wars
he
games. and all the
is-
Lego games.
It is fun though.
He is so obsessed with Legos, and I mean obsessed with Legos, that he just wants to play it just because it's Legos. Now, we actually have a standing fight every morning regarding Legos because he wants to hide them in his pockets to bring them to school, but it's not allowed. We're there's a rule against bringing Legos to school. So even now this morning, this is like the third day in a row this week where, I'm like, no, Mikey, what are you doing? I asked you to get your shoes on. Your shoes are out here. And he's stuffing Legos into his pockets.
He's not very good at this. He's totally bad at this, by the way.
It's
Put
just
it
like-
in the bag
it's the
when
Kit
nobody's
Kats all
looking.
over it.
Yeah,
It is. It's the Kit Kats all over.
He's such a bad guy.
So I'm like, Michael, this is the third day in a row. Just get the Legos out of your pockets. I said, just take the Legos out of your hands. And he pulls his hands out of his pockets and he's like, I don't have any Legos. So now I go to reach into his jacket because I know there's Legos in there. And he's like, don't touch me. So I go in there.
You don't have a warrant. You don't have a warrant.
Am I being detained?
I do not consent to searches. I'm going to make. Oh well, what a disservice I've done as a dad not to teach him to say
know,
that.
right?
Damn it!
Wait a minute. So I pull the Legos out. So now I'm like, he's got these little Legos, and I'm like, I'm putting these up on the fridge, and you are not getting them back until you go to school tomorrow without trying to sneak Legos. So this is because there's always an argument, and every morning is a different argument on why he should be able to bring Legos. Most of the time it's because I don't want him to have friends because he is supposed to show these Legos to his friends. But today he went for a different tactic. Today he said, when I sneaked those Legos before and you didn't find them in my pocket, I did bring them home. So he says, so you're not right when you say that I won't bring them home. I will bring them home because I sneaked them before and you didn't find them and I brought them home.
Which kid's raising a good point, by the way.
And
Yeah.
I actually had to stop for a second because I considered giving him the Legos back because he understood the concept of an unjust law as no law at all. I actually had to I went,
It's a victimless crime.
actually-
So did these Legos hurt?
Look,
Nobody stepped on it.
Look, I gotta tell you though, I have to maintain I have to be a force united of you can't bring the Legos to school. But I'm really torn right now because I actually want to sneak in there when the other two ain't looking and show him the proper way to sneak his Legos into school because I do feel that it's an injustice that he's not smart enough to sneak these damn things into school. Like it pisses me off that why do you get caught every day, man? We shouldn't have to know about this. You got 8 pockets in that damn thing. We'll never search all of them. You can do it, man. Just put them in and here's the thing, put them in multiple spots. You'll get some of them through, man. It's like bringing illegals over the border, man. You're going to get a couple through. You can't guard everything.
I actually had to stop myself because I was like, oh, he's just an activist. And I'm like, no, put the Legos on the fridge. What are you doing?
I feel like a little bit of a status in this aspect because I want him to be able to bring the Legos to school, man. You know, if you are a little kid, that it probably is a couple cool points, man. Why am I depriving my kid a couple cool points for bringing Legos in? And it's Legos. It ain't like he's bringing a Smith and Wesson into school. You know, it's a Lego. It's a block. You know what I'm saying? It's a plastic block. You do not. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead, Chuck.
Well, they'll expel you for a Lego gun at school, though.
Yeah, and that is true.
Just don't give them enough to make the
But
gun.
here's the thing: is number one, I had
3
to,
blocks don't make you the gun.
I actually had to stop myself because I was like, oh, he's an activist, and then I'm like, no, I'm the adult here. I need to take the Legos. So
I need to enforce the dictatorship of this home.
So I actually, and then as I'm like, because now I'm torn and I'm feeling bad as I'm putting these Legos on there, and I was like, no, Mikey. You can't have the Legos at school because the last time you sneaked them into school, you got a note home that the teacher had to take them away because you weren't paying attention in class. So I'm like, now I've won. I had an actual proper reason to take Legos.
Yeah.
We're back to enforcing the communist
Yeah.
dictatorship
Yes.
in our home.
I
Damn
can
it.
put them on the fridge and I have a clear conscience.
I wouldn't. I'm going to teach him how to do it tomorrow, I think within the next week or two, I'm going to teach him the proper way to smuggle the Legos into the school.
You just got to teach him how to get by with shit. There's only one trick. Just no matter what you're doing, just act like you're not doing anything wrong.
Well, and what he does is, it's such a telltale, because I'll be like, okay, you know, do you want to go brush your teeth first or put your shoes on first? We have to do both before we leave. And he'll like be looking down at the Legos in his hand and he'll go, I think I want to put my shoes on first. And then he runs into his bedroom. And I'm like, the shoes are right here.
Little bastard. I love him to death, though.
So, you know, and he gets caught every time because it'll be something silly like that. Or all of a sudden he'll go, oh, I forgot to put this one toy away. and he leaves and he has to put down another toy in his hand to go put that one away in the bedroom where the Legos are.
Imagine that.
You know, in a week he's going to be going, I do not consent to any searches. Did I wake up in communist Russia? What's going on here?
Yeah.
But I did have to catch myself because I was like, oh, he's just an activist.
Yeah. God bless him. I'm sorry, Chuck. Go ahead, man. You got something? You got anything else you wanted to bring up, brother?
No, that's all I got, man. I love the show, guys.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks.
We appreciate knowing that somebody's listening. That's always a positive sign. Really, it is. I really appreciate that you're listening. And if you even enjoy it, that's even better. It really is. I hope it's half as fun for you as it is for us, because this show is just funny as shit sometimes. But I think it's all right, cool, man. I appreciate it, man. Call anytime you want, Chuck. Matter of fact, if you do have a music preference of your choice, let us know that ahead of time, and we'll have it ready for you. There's a couple people that.
Well,
have
you know,
that,
I mean, that's really something. That's something I need to thank you for, Alex. Is you know, you've really helped me introduce me to Rebel Inc. and Jordan Page, and it's nice to have some libertarian music to listen to. So thanks for that too, man.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we listen. You know, it's funny enough. And you know, thank you very much, Chuck. Appreciate that. You know how you have Rebel Inc. and they sound similar to what Rage sounded like. I got to listen to some Rage on the way home. You know what's funny is I was listening to Rage when I was in the Marine Corps. And I didn't even realize at the time that they were talking about me.
You are the machine.
Yeah, it was funny though, because I was like, you know, you're like a PFC, you're cleaning shitters, so you're trying to, all you're doing is cleaning the shitter on the ship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you did other stuff too, but like, it's just funny that you're rocking out like "Screw the man" as you're cleaning their shitters.
Holy shit!
Damn it!
I am the violence arm of the man. What
You
the hell?
Not only till later on in life. That's why they get you when you're 18, man, because you don't even know no better at that point.
Yeah.
Because you think you are actually rebelling against the establishment.
Oh yeah, as you're cleaning that shitter to a perfect shine. You know, I can remember I was on the ship. I was on the Tortuga at the time, and we had the the Evil Empire CD came out, and so we're in the shitter listening to it as we're mopping our berthing area, or basically our shitters. You know, I mean, it wasn't everybody's. I mean, it was our berthing area of 30 guys. This is the bathroom everybody used, right? But it's 30 guys in a ship, man. That's not fun. You know, that's not a good time at all. Think about 30, 18 to 24-year-olds.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The bodily fluids in that.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff going. Nobody wanted to clean the showers. It was not fun. Luckily, most of it was all just like very slick material that, you know, would clean easily. And not to, that's kind of weird to say it that way, but I you know, there's no good way even to say that shit. I'm sorry. It sucks,
Just stop.
You know, and most of the time you're on shift, though, you actually spend your time in line to eat. Hours a day spent just in line to eat. It was really Now it was funny though. I was like supply, right? So like I always had like even in supply, I was like the supply guy. So I have like
In supply, he was the supply guy.
well, no. I'm sorry, in ship on the ship you're still the supply guy. So I have like a couple. You know, you got pods, right? They call them pods now. Okay, well we had like I have big pods. I have like 10 of them full of stuff. Just supply stuff. You know, extra helmets, extra uniforms, extra MREs, extra all kinds of stuff, right?
Random supplies.
But everybody wants to be nice to the supply guy, though, because you might need stuff, right? So we would be able to sit in the berthing area and play spades, like we're in prison, while somebody would go up to the place to go eat, grab the food like it was for a sick person, and bring it back down, and we could eat in our berthing area. But normally people weren't allowed to do this. Again,
So you
there was
were
rules
eating
against this shit.
in the shitters.
No, in your berthing area, not where you shit at, where you sleep at.
Wait a minute, when you said that you were cleaning the shitters in your birthing area.
Well, I guess I put the berthing area as all that thing is what I'm saying, but like in the not in the shitter, but in the berthing area where all like the racks and stuff were, we would sit there and play cards. Like it was, look, the military and jail have a whole lot of similarities that people just don't even understand. Look, I can play spades against somebody that did 5 years in jail and whoop his ass. Like I mean, he might shank me or something, but like I could beat him.
Let the Wookiee win.
Yeah, like I could beat him. I could beat him, especially with a good partner, man. If we're playing like big little or big pulls, like we can run some big stuff. We can big mows, run ball. I ran a couple Bostons even. That's where you get all the cards, If you don't know spades,
I know spades.
I don't think you did. You do any time? Did you do any time?
I did not do any time.
You're not that good at playing spades because you were in the military, so it's one or the other. Hold on, did you do like a juvie thing?
No, I actually grew up in a city in an area of the city that kind of turned into the impoverished area.
Oh, I got you. So by location, you were in jail.
Yeah, sort of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's a good time then. That's a good way to grow up. Did you learn some spades?
I did.
Did you play big pulls?
No, not really.
Oh, I like big pulls. I like that. I like playing that way. Some people go like Joker, Deuce, Ace. I don't need to do all that. Big pulls, big little ace. So it's simple in my opinion. But when I was on ship, though, that's what you do. How do we get to the ship, by the way? Damn it, every time.
Well, I've heard that people in prison know more about economics than the people outside of prison.
I think they do learn a little bit more about free market economics. I mean, it's a little...
Right.
It is very cutthroat, too, though. I mean, you don't want to screw anybody over because you get shanked. And even if you don't, you still might get shanked. But thank God I would never have to do that.
The bartering system is alive and well.
They definitely alive and well.
That.
And you can't keep the drugs out of prison. That's another problem. But
the prison system doesn't work. It doesn't reform them. They go and hang out with other criminals and learn how to be a better criminal.
I think that what happens is you have the non-violent offenders getting great lessons from the violent offenders, and you're basically both put out looking the same anyway. It didn't matter whatever you did.
You got the guy that got busted selling weed learning how to cook meth while he's doing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably getting F'd in the A, too. That's not.
Or learning how to rob a bank, or something worse.
Yeah. That's the thing. If I was ever going to rob a bank, I would always do it with a bunch of military guys because they would understand formations and shit.
Exactly. And I don't want to learn how to rob a bank from somebody in jail. Obviously, you don't fucking know.
Like you did it wrong.
This is not how I want to end up.
Hold on. You should ask everybody in jail how they got there. Whoever robbed the bank, what was your technique, and then just mark that off as that's the one you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You just go right. Like you can have a survey of how not to commit crimes. Okay, how did you do it? And that's what you're in jail for. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, knock that one out.
Now what did you do? And how did you do that? Okay, there's one I'm not ever going to do again.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some you can't get away with when it comes to like the victimless crimes and stuff. So, right now there's those laws.
I wonder if that would be like a place where we could, I don't know how you say it, but I mean, kind of like tell people about the libertarian message. If there was a way that we can contact these people that were arrested for the victimless crimes. And I think that they're, because I saw some kind of statistic recently. It said that it was like the majority of people in prison are Democrats or something, and it really feels like basically everybody ever arrested of a victimless crime should be a libertarian, really.
Yeah, and it's weird. How do you go after that demographic? Because it is a demographic of people that really should be with us. Now, the problem is a lot of those people end up getting felonies. They can't vote anymore, so they're off the rolls.
Exactly.
So how do you find them, though? I think it's a matter of public record to go find them. You know what Richter did when he was running for office? He sent did he send a letter out to all of them? All the people that got red light camera tickets?
Yeah.
He sent a letter out to all of them. Now, I've never been able to figure out how you get that list, by the way.
Well, it's a Freedom of Information Act request.
We really should do one for the entire state of Florida and just send them all a libertarian list. Like, we would get rid of these. Vote for us.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we would get rid of these. Donate $10 to help us get rid of these. You know what I'm saying? Like just help us. You had to pay $240 or whatever, or $450 now. Look, just throw us 10 or 20, and we'll try to get rid of these.
It never happens again.
Yeah, we'll get rid of them for you. Which that lobby, man, those Red Flex guys, those guys are making. I mean, they're just banking so much money on the citizens of this country. For instance,
yeah,
it's the scariest thing to see their pie charts. Like when you see their graphs and you realize that their graphs equal more money taken from us,
yeah,
and they're expecting massive booms. It's like shit.
Yeah, all of that is money that they've taken away from us, and they're looking at making the pie bigger.
Yeah, right. And they're going after the people that just love finding new ways to generate revenue. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Chuck?
Yeah.
This
That's
is
all
good.
I got, guys. Have a great night.
You too, man. You too.
Bye.
Thank you, by the way. Hey, look, it was stuff we wouldn't have talked about necessarily. So that's how you can influence the show, by the way. That's how you can do it. You can call up and influence the show.
I think it may help if we actually gave out the numbers before the first hour was over.
Oh, that's true. If you do want to call the program, by the way, 1-800-525-4032, 1-800-525-4032, refresh Telecom. It's nice that we do the Wednesday show knowing somebody who actually listens, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
And he listens and he likes it.
Yeah, that's double. That's double, man. That's double. That's awesome. That's double awesome. Imagine some of the Wednesday shows too, man. We've got some. We get deep on some stuff sometimes.
We have every once in a while.
And
most of the time, it's about as deep as a frisbee.
Yeah, most of the time we're just screwing off.
Most of the time we're being annoying, which it's about to be legal to be again in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
What's that?
About to be
being annoying.
Was it illegal to be annoying?
The Grand Rapids Press reports that the city commission is nixing a 38-year-old section of city code that states no person shall willfully annoy another person.
Then they should have arrested the entire government.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good idea.
City Attorney Catherine Mish recommended repealing the language, saying the wording is unconstitutional in terms of being vague and simply unenforceable. A final decision is expected March 11th. Even with the change, related crimes such as obstructing someone in a public place or assault would still be on the books.
Well, yeah, assault should still be on the books.
That's what pisses me off all the time. Whenever they do that, whenever the equivalent is made, like we know how they make the equivalent of like, well, doing drugs or killing somebody. Like there is such a difference between doing drugs and killing someone. Murder and getting high ain't the same thing. I don't care what organization comes out that says weed kills because it don't do it. You know what weed kills? It kills Twinkies. It will murder.
It kills you by making you morbidly obese.
Yeah, well, and that's a long-term thing, and you're doing that to yourself anyway. But when they equate the two, it really pisses me off.
Making the makers of diabetes medication very rich.
That's true too. Well, and Mexican drug cartels.
Mm-hmm.
We could be growing that stuff here, man. We could be doing that shit domestic.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to even grow weed union. Just grow it here.
I wouldn't be a part of the weed union, by the way.
I wouldn't want to be part of the weed union, by the way. I think it would all go downhill if you had the union involved in weed union. You can't do that. I mean, if they want to get together and form a co-op or something like that, I'm not going to be opposed to it. But
I'm just saying.
I don't want to have to join a union in order to grow weed.
Well, I'm not saying a compulsory union. I'm saying a voluntary union. Everybody's high. Like, how much fighting would there be?
Yeah.
It's a union where everybody's a stoner.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Hopefully it passes, or not passes, but hopefully we get the right stuff here in Florida to make it happen. So,
well,
not to get back on on the rails, which would get us off the rails, which would be the opposite of what we should be doing. But do you really think that the Democrats are going to use the Medicare fraud thing again in this election? Like that's going to work?
Yes.
Against Scott?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It didn't work. Don't you got to come up with some new stuff?
Okay, what are you talking about? Come up with some new stuff. What, like their candidate?
Never mind.
What are you talking about?
That's a good. I retract everything I just said. By the way, I retract all of it. I retract the whole thing. I'm sorry. You're right. I don't even know what I was thinking. I got caught up in something. I forgot that it's two Republicans up against each other for a second.
Might as well just. I mean, all they use is plungers because all they want to do is bring up old shit.
God, these guys are insults, man. If I was a Democrat or a Republican, which I'm not, but if I was, I would just be insulted. Like, I would be embarrassed that this, again, people are like, oh, you should be embarrassed of being a libertarian. You guys are a bunch of stoners. Compared to what you have, I'll take stoners every day of the week.
I'll take the stoners over the idiots.
I will take a 9/11 truth stoner that thinks that aliens are here on this planet right now, who also wears the tinfoil hat every day, that wears it like I wear my camo shorts.
Thinks They Live is a documentary.
Yes, that will not stop talking to me on the phone for 5 hours. I'll take that person every day than David Jolly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that person in charge than David Jolly. At least I know that he'll be looking for the aliens. And he'll probably be too busy to make a law.
And he's probably got better fashion sense.
Maybe. If you're wearing the tinfoil hat, though, you're really not having that good of fashion sense. But I'm just, again, like... You know, and even when you hear, look, we should be embarrassed of some of the people. And you know what, man? There's some people that are very unique individuals within the Libertarian Party. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's some unique MFers, boy. I ain't gonna, not even trying to lie. But you know what, though? Most of those people have good hearts, man, and they're just eccentric people. They're like juggalos.
They're not nearly that bad.
No. But I'm saying
I'll take any libertarian over a juggalo.
It's a community, though. Like, there's people that are libertarians. A lot of times, they're very unique individuals, and so those unique individuals sometimes are cast out by what you would consider to be normal, regular society, right? But in libertarians, we've embraced that. Like, come on over. You're a unique individual. At least you understand what that means.
Yes.
Because if you go with the flow all the time, then more than likely your mentality is that.
And a lot of them are so unique that the flow doesn't want them.
Right.
Quite frankly. I mean, that's where a lot of libertarians become libertarians, because they don't have a home with the Democrats or the Republicans or any other ideology.
Yeah. Other third parties tend to have some of that as well, though. Like, I talked to that greenie on the phone today.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I... Like, MPAs, you never know what you're going to get when you're at their door, like, calling them on the phone. You know, you have no idea how it's going to go. You know, you can generally tell with a Democrat or Republican, but any of the third parties, and you're just like, I am gonna get a big ball of crazy right now. like you brace yourself as you're walking to the door. What is this Green Party? Oh, okay, big ball of crazy. Let's go. You know, like Constitution Party. All right, different big ball of crazy. Let's go.
Well, here's the thing. I think one thing I've noticed is in making the phone calls for Lucas is that the talk track that Lucas is using is good for Democrats, Republicans, and MPAs. However, for third parties, there's a whole lot of explaining needed. Like, and more than likely, I had to do it today. I had to go, well, how have Lucas give you a call? Because I'm not going to mess this one up. She'll probably vote for him. She just needs to hear it from Lucas because they're very particular. Like we even say in that thing, you know, he's representing all the voices. Well, how is he doing that? Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I'm going to have Lucas give you a call.
First she kept saying, how are you going to do that?
Yeah,
You're like, I'm just making phone calls.
Yeah. How are you going to do that? I'm like, well, I'm not the candidate. I'm just making phone calls for the candidate. Well, how is he going to do that? I'm like, well, you know what? How about I do this? You want to talk to him personally? Yeah. I'm going to give him your phone number. I have to give you a call later on. You can talk to him yourself.
And she was happy with that.
She's like, okay. Got off the phone. I was like, let Lucas deal with that. As a candidate, though, he's the only one that can, though. And he'll have good answers for her. And because she's a greenie, she'll like him anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and, you know, but it's definitely, like, you can definitely see the third parties. And they all have a little different kind of crazy, but it's there.
Yeah.
We're all crazy in our own way, though.
Yeah.
You got to be to go up against these odds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to be just... Poof.
You know, we were on the road. We had to go to a meeting before we came back tonight. And he's like, you know, how are we going to feel like on March 12th? the day after Lucas's election. I'm like, well, if he wins, then. Well, I just don't know how we'll feel like. I can't even imagine what's that going to feel like.
Yeah.
And I said, and if he loses, well, we'll just go on to the next candidate. I'm like, I know how I feel if he loses. We've done that over and over and over again. I understand that feeling.
Seems like with each campaign, the ball gets moved a little bit more forward.
It does. It does. Every campaign that we
Mike was 40 off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, every campaign, we've seen a marketable difference, improvement, So I mean, it's we'll still feel like, oh, he didn't win, and then we'll go, but he did better than everybody else. All right, let's go. Like, who's next?
Mm-hmm.
But
regardless, come March 12th, we still have to look to November.
Yeah, we still have to look to November.
Think about in the county you live in, how many more candidates you got after that? Mm-hmm. Again, everybody's been focused on Lucas right now, but it's been to the detriment of every other campaign that's out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of.
But there's a good reason for it, though. You do that every time, by the way.
Yeah.
His election in March 11th. Yours is in November. You focus on Lucas's right now. Mm-hmm. Besides, if he wins, then it changes all your guys' elections too. So you get involved.
Yeah.
You help him out because it helps you.
Lucas wins, the game changes
for
completely.
Everybody
Overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for everybody, and so it was just funny when he asked, and I was like, I just don't know how we feel if he won. Like, I can't fathom that. Like, I don't understand it.
A lot of shit talking.
On the Friday show after that?
Oh, my God. On the Wednesday show.
Like, I won't even do show prep.
What? Why would we?
It will be 3 hours of I told you so.
Yeah. Bask in the glory that it is us. We won, finally.
Actually, there will not be a Friday show because we will all be on our way to DC for swearing in.
Yeah. I will do, you know what, honestly, Kelly will have to fire it up then. Somebody's going to have to fire this thing up, man, 'cause we're going on air. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what state I'm in. I'm hoping I'm drunk at that point.
Of it, so.
Oh, yeah, we'll bring it with us. We will bring it with us, man.
I can just see, like, Lucas winning, and I was being like, come on, we got to go home. We got to pack. That's a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
To go.
I'll tell you that right now. It's on. It's on. The only argument you got left is that one, and if we kill that one, then you're, oh, boy. Oh, boy. You're in trouble. Don't mess around and don't mess around and give us a shot. We'll get you. Because if 50,000 beats 10 million, then we always can raise enough money to win in people's minds. And that's the only thing holding us back.
Yep.
If Lucas can break the mind 4-minute mile, it's the same as that's why we call that thing the 4-minute mile project. We got 4 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So we called it a 4-minute mile project. It's a mental break. You know about the 4-minute mile, right? Mm-hmm. You know how it was broken, then it just got broke the crap out of after that.
Yeah. Decimated from that point.
Not because humanity all of a sudden progressed.
Everybody was told it was impossible, and then somebody did it, and then it's not impossible anymore. It's like the hoverboard. Just wait till somebody does it right.
Yeah. Let's talk about this, by the way.
3 minutes.
Well, we can go a couple more than 3, right? Does it? I
mean, it's not like YouTube's going to cut us or anything.
All right, let's just finish the story then. The story. Explain it.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I can explain it. All I can say is I saw a video that's supposedly a real hoverboard that I loved. I loved seeing the video, and as soon as I finished watching the video, I shared it on Facebook, saying, "Oh, hoverboards are real. I love it."
We were thinking about getting them.
I want one.
Look, if it was real, I would have totally wanted one. And I am actually pissed that they went out of their way because there's one thing in there, remember, that goes to black and then it says, this is all real. Mm-hmm. So, like, you guys made it a point to try to say that it was real.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that everybody's wrong and that it is real. But
Me too. I hope it's real. I want it to be real. I want to believe. I want hoverboards. So if it ends up not being real, I'm like, okay, fine. Where's the guy that's really working on it? Come on, somebody do it. I want my flying car. I want my jetpack. I want my meal in a pill. I mean, I want all the things that we were promised as children for the future. And I want my damn hoverboard. And if these guys didn't really make it, find me the guy that's working on it.
And if it's Christopher Lloyd and Tony Hawk that are and Terrell Owens and Moby and all these guys are all in on this big gag, screw all you guys, man. You know what? You guys better figure out a way to make that damn hoverboard.
Yeah. They got Terrell Owens to catch a football. They already broke the laws of physics. They should be able to get somebody to make a hoverboard.
Man, that pisses. And with the TL one, it almost seems like he's getting lifted from the sides. Like, I don't know how they're doing it, but when you see the one picture of him, you can't see his white shirt. And then when he's on the thing, you can see this white shirt-looking thing that's there. What happened?
Nothing.
Message. Facebook.
Oh, there we go. Friday's show after Lucas wins will be Alex with a list of people to say. And it will take all 3 hours.
And that's why there will be no show.
Oh, it'll be a great show. And what's he doing up at 12:30, by the way?
It's way past his bedtime.
It is way past his bedtime, by the way. You know what it was? And he won't admit to it. But
He likes the show.
He likes the show.
He can't help it.
He can't help but listen.
But you know what that means? That means that not only did we have Chuck as a listener, we had 2 listeners tonight.
Really?
Dose.
Wow.
At least 2.
Well, 3. I know 3. Williams and Alexander Cops.
Oh,
I've been chatting with him up the whole time.
We've got 4 right now. So
One of them's probably you.
possibly.
The powered laces, though. Oh, William brings this up, by the way. The powered laces for the Nikes coming out with those powered lace shoes. Those would be. I think I might get a pair of those. I think I might though.
I'm not
I
a
like
big
that.
Nike fan.
I'm not normally a Nike guy
If
either.
it
but-
becomes ubiquitous.
What's powered laces?
The self-tying laces, just like Back to the Future 2, that he's wearing before he gets on his hoverboard.
Yeah.
We're not buying self-tying laces, by the way.
Hey, you know what? If I want to wear some self-tying laces, now I'm going to buy them for sure now. Consider them bought. I'm going to have to pre-order them shit.
Just because you're trying to impress me.
Don't,
Tell me I can't have
am I
it.
being detained? Am I free to go?
Number one, it's not even. There's no way self-tying laces are real. And number 2, you're just looking for like a malfunction in someone getting hurt.
Nike's releasing them in December.
Yeah, no, that's real though.
Yeah, the self-tying laces are real. Nike's
Yeah.
releasing them this December.
Oh,
Look them up, man. Here, if you don't believe me, look them up.
I am looking them up. That's
Watch Back to the Future 2.
I've never seen Back to the Future, by the way.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
You've never
1,
seen
2,
Back to the
3?
Future,
None
by
of
the
them?
way?
No, none of them.
You really
if,
gotta
If
watch.
in the title it says Back to the Future, I have not seen it.
So any incarnation of Back to the Future is.
No matter what number you put after it.
That's why I still love Huey Lewis in the News, by the way. Gotta get back in time.
They were awesome anyway.
They were good. I liked Huey Lewis in the News,
They were
man.
like the band of the 80s. Like throughout the 80s, there was always a Huey Lewis song going on.
Yeah, I think they were doing a lot of movie work then too, right?
Yeah, lots of movies.
lot of movie
Always
work.
always one song on the radio.
Power Laces Back to the Future. There you go. Hold on. USA Today. Nike unveils Back to the Future self-tying power
It
laces in
says Nike
2015.
to unveil them in 2015.
Well, yeah, they're gonna, but you're gonna be able to look. They already got a little picture of them right here, so you can see what they look like.
They're showing me a picture of shoelaces.
Oh no, that's Marty McFly's laces. That's actually from Back to the Future. I'm sorry, my bad.
They're not actually showing you them.
Listen, they're gonna have them. All right, so just it's gonna happen. It's America. This is what America's all about: self-tying laces. We're such a lazy population
the
that we literally
epitome
have to
of
make
laziness.
shoes that tie themselves because we can't do it. We don't want to do it. I like them though. That's a good time. I mean, I would like him to be smaller, like not as high up. I don't want him to be that high, but that's just me though.
Yeah, they're only showing clips from Back to
Look
the
at
Future.
that. Yeah, but that's cool. But they're gonna do it though. Life imitating art, imitating life, imitating art. You know. That's cool. That is really cool. By the way,
We have cell phones because of Star Trek. We're going to have hoverboards and self-tying laces because of Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's where you see him first. You have to think of it and invent it in your mind before you can make it reality.
It's the naysayers that hold us back, man.
Yeah, don't be a hater, man. Don't be a shoe hater.
Yeah.
Look, for a person that bought as many shoes as you bought in your life, I don't think you should begrudge somebody for a pair of self-tying shoes, by the way. Would you
some
agree?
imagination.
Can I get a touche on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's, you know what, man? That's that. You got to give me a touche on that one.
Okay.
I mean, come on, for real.
It is when we moved. Well, I moved, and then we moved again with and I did get rid of someone when I moved the first time, but he helped me move, and my entire trunk and like back seat of my car was filled with shoes, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like, how many pairs of shoes do you need? And then I did get rid of like half of them. And when we moved again, he was like, the hell, man, how many pairs of shoes do you need? And I'm like, I got rid of like half of them. He's like, where do you think you're going to put all these shoes?
Yeah. But I want a pair of self-tying shoes, and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy, right? Like, no, I'm going to put my foot down. I'm making the Obama red line.
I'm just saying you don't need them.
Yeah.
Why not?
You know what? I'm going to get them. I'll tell you what. I love the shoes I have right now, though. Even though I need a new pair that look exactly like the same ones I have. Though.
Yeah, well, I'm going with you to make sure you get the right size.
I still don't think they make them in the size that you think they make them in. If not, I'll look like Ronald McDonald. Like these big wide things that are like short, stubby, wide looking. It'll really be horrible, by the way. Like I felt even those that when I first bought them were kind of big too already. But
whatever size you feel comfortable in, you go to a half a size up, because as you walk, especially the way we walk, door to door and everything, your feet swell, and that's why you're busting through the sides of your shoes, is because you've actually bought a shoe that fits you when your feet are cold, but they don't fit you when your feet have swelled from walking and heating up.
that's your opinion.
Okay, wait a minute. The person.
That's why you need self-tying shoes. So
Wait. You just
Thank you.
gave me shit for how many pairs of shoes I own. Do you not think that maybe I understand a little more about shoes and buying the proper size and how to shop for shoes than you do?
Maybe, but we're not going to argue this with facts and logic. I'm going straight emotion and name calling. I'm sorry, you had the wrong argument in mind.
This is like a debate with a Republican.
Or a Democrat, either one.
Or a Democrat, either one.
Either one. It would have been either way.
I refuse to acknowledge your facts and logic.
Because I met a person down on the beach that was having a really hard time, and I really think that I need to come in and help you people.
Look, first off, you're anti-woman for your stance on shoes. And you want to kill old people and babies because of the way you're doing it. So, and you're racist. So all three of those things combined for your opinion.
What did I?
So anything you say factually won't matter right now.
What did I say in that email? It was actually really funny.
Don't attack me.
It's like this is a personal matter to me. This is this issue is personal to me. And someone told me this story. This young person told me their entire life story and how this issue severely affects their life. And at the end of the day, this is for the children, the seniors, and our brave men and women fighting overseas.
Yeah. All three of them. It's actually an old young person in the military overseas right now. All three of them wrapped up all in the
All of those people need self-tying.
I'm pregnant, and she's pregnant too.
Right.
Pregnant women definitely need self-tying.
She's an 80-year-old pregnant sergeant in the Marine Corps.
who just got out of high school.
And she's black. She's black and Asian. She's Catalan Asian.
She's
Woods,
half black, half
Tiger
American
Woods'
Indian.
long-lost grandmother.
Who just graduated high school.
Hey, you remember the Chappelle show? By the way, I'm sure you do. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the racial draft in the Chappelle show? Do you remember that one? Do you remember that skit that they did, the racial draft?
Oh my god! It's been
Black delegation selects Tiger Woods.
We can't show it on screen.
Is it? Do I have that downloaded? I might have that downloaded. That's the funniest one, by the way. It really is. You know, the Jewish delegation selects Lenny Kravitz. You know, he's already down in Miami. He must have got the word early. Oh, it was a great skit. You ever seen this one?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Then at the end, the Chinese select the Wu-Tang Clan. The entire Wu-Tang Clan. It was the funniest thing. Or how about the one for Dice? Remember the Dice one? Oh, okay. Hold on a second here. I guess we'll have to cut the show off after this, I guess. But in the Chappelle Show episode they did for the Dice, and again, Dave Chappelle does it. So every stereotype for everybody's represented. So like he messes with everybody, including his own culture as well as everybody else's culture as well. So he does this one where it's like the World Series of Dice at like the Marcy Projects, and so they're all down there, and there's this guy named Ashley Larry who's the same guy that does a lot of other skits.
I think I've seen
this. Oh, you've seen this one?
I think I have.
Remember he shoots him, and every time it gets stopped by a robbery.
Yeah.
Notice how he shot him in the leg to avoid a murder charges. He used a down angle to shoot him. I love Chappelle's Show.
Hard drive
I love Chappelle's Show though. It's we don't have to find it now. Look it up. Man. Look it up.
We're 10 minutes.
World Series of Dice, folks. World Series of Dice.
All
right, guys. Well, hey, look, man. Very exciting show. People called in. There was interaction with multiple people. Imagine that. I was amazed and shocked and confused all at the same time. And I was probably being rude to people online because I'm putting just one word answers in because I don't have the ability to do any more than that and talk at the same time.
And because as soon as he stops paying attention, then I think that I'm going to have to talk. I actually hit him under the table so that he'll pay back attention.
Yeah. Well, what's going on? Something shiny?
Because I can't take that kind of pressure.
Yes, I can. Yeah. Hold on. Can't take the kind of pressure, by the way, and is choosing to sit in front of the mic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I just don't want to know that nobody's going to talk and it's going to have to be me.
We actually shouldn't even tell you that people are on the air. It's kind of like going over a bridge for you. Like you should just close your eyes and just pretend it's not there.
It's just
la, I'm not really here. It's all just mine crazy experience.
It is every time that we go to do any kind of public speaking, and I'm really like, I don't want to do this. I have such a fear of public speaking. I mean, it's really bad. And he's like, what? You do a radio show? What is the matter with you?
You know what? For the next month, if I got to go to South Florida, I'm going over the Skyway.
Oh my gosh.
How about that? I'll make you open your eyes the whole way.
It's just an overpass over a big wet road.
It is. I will tell you though. I will say this though. Going over the Skyway is like playing Russian roulette with like a 30,000 gun chamber. Eventually, it's going to go off, and you're going to end up in a drink if you go over too many times.
Do you do the same game I do when you're going over the Skyway and you see a big barge or something coming through? You try and race the boat.
Well, get over there before the boat.
Get over the bridge
before
the boat gets to it.
Well, yeah. What if the guy misses?
Exactly.
Then you're in the middle of the boat. You're in the middle of the thing. You're screwed.
It's happened before.
Yeah. I mean, only once in like 40 years, but.
Only 40 years?
As soon as we get on these bridges, he starts messing with me, and he's like, oh my God, what was that? I'm like, no, stop.
It's swaying.
I'm trying to help you. Be honest with you, I'm trying to help. I'm like Charter. I'm trying to help. I'm here to help, man. If you can't find help here, find help somewhere.
He's like Shrek with Donkey on the rope bridge going to the dragon.
Yeah. Works out well. All right, play the music. Let's end this thing. We're already 8 minutes over. Or actually, 11 minutes over. Rebel Inc. Nice. Love Rebel Inc., by the way. Don't listen to Rebel Inc. enough right now. We got to get back on that.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the radio.
Yeah, we'll have to call Kevin.
Yeah, let's call him and do an interview or something.
Okay.
That'd be fun. Find out where they're at.
Maybe
bring him down here. We'd love to bring Rebel Inc. down. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. If anybody's interested in that, by the way, let us know.
Let us
see
know
if we can get him on.
We can get him down here.
Pretty cheap too. It's not real expensive, man. It'd be a good night of partying, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Get him hammered. Let's get messed up on a lot of stuff and just have a good time one night.
He means two things.
We should do a 1787 network event with Rebel Inc. and Jordan Page, and we broadcast live the whole time.
Yeah, we did one during RNC like that, man. We can do it again, though.
Yeah.
Probably could do it. All right, let's figure this out, man. We'll talk about it a little bit more later on.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Show's off the rails. We'll see you next week. 1787network.com. See you Friday.
Save me so there's no escape.